Welcome guys. Hello William, hello Echo, Aviation Sim, Matthew, Darren, Poseidon. Welcome, thank you. We're using the Luke Air tool as I was just mentioning. So we have to spawn steps, although the steps do mess up. As you can see there, they're already retracting, which is a little frustrating. But this PAX Sim here is a free tool from the Luke Air tool. Initially it was announcements, they've now expanded it to PAX Sim as well, so you can actually create a boarding theme and along with the announcements and everything else as well.
London LR315 Alpha, what the arrival can expect at Heathrow?
LR315 Alpha, you can expect
We're on
vectoring from Lambourne. The
Tan,
information is Tango.
Yeah, cheers for that. I'd muted it for the initial
type.
intro.
789er.
Got the overlay ready to go as well, and as I was saying,
315 Alpha,
our
thank
route
you.
takes us
Continue your present heading as a radar heading.
up to Clacton, which is there,
Vectors, information Tango, continue
south of
present
Ipswich, over
heading,
the water,
LR315 Alpha.
north of Amsterdam, and then across
12 Hotel, report your
to
passing altitude, climb now, flight level
Hamburg.
140.
We're expecting runway 05 at Hamburg. We'll then turn around and head back to Manchester. Checking out the very latest from Macco Simulations, version 0.6.4.
Emirates 1903, I see you're not following the
Still
star.
boarding.
Please, in future, if you don't know what we mean by procedures, just tell us, and then we can work something else out.
So
don't read back something that you don't understand.
this is free. It's from I think the username the guys created it is Gobby.
Emirates 1903, fly
London
heading
Southend, it's pretty
210
naff
degrees,
airport really. It's only
flight level 80.
Ryanair that uses it currently, I think. EasyJet pulled out a little while ago. Wildero, a couple of other smaller airlines use it too, but it's quite nice. Sort of pointless with the animations really.
210 degrees, descend, flight level 80.
All that does is affect frames,
level
things, which ruins it a little bit.
Emirates 1903, fly heading 210
Echo,
degrees.
we're going to plan to arrive on runway 05, at least that's what the current METAR suggests. Those of you new to the channel, very welcome.
Emirates 1903.
Do consider clicking that subscribe button down below.
It's 283 London, hello, climb now, flight level 70.
So all that's pretty much on.
Shuttle 12 Hotel, route
Initial
direct
climb
Leicester.
is 3,000.
Austrian 175,
Oh, nice, that's
fly heading
control, streaming on Twitch.
150 degrees.
Make sure you let him know that I'm about to call up. Get him, William. This time it'll work, we're actually in his airspace. Easy 829 is our call sign.
Golf Charlie Alpha, surface wind at lit 0108 knots, runway 03, clear to land. Confirm runway 03, Golf Charlie Alpha. Tomjet 2 Mike November, climb flight level 410. Climb flight level 410, Tomjet 2 Mike November. Easy 283, climb flight level 360.
Speeding boarding up a little bit.
283, climb flight level 360.
Don't think it works quite as well. It needs SFUIC, is it FSUIPC? Which I don't really have working correctly at the moment.
Heathrow. Are you covering Heathrow, sir?
Heathrow, I am.
Whilst we're waiting, we can get our IFR clearance, of course.
Clearance to Madrid as file, please.
All of this is ready to
Iberia
go.
167, cleared to Madrid, Glasgow, 2 Juliet departure, Squawk 2151.
Init B, all our zero fuel weight data, and our flight plan with
Okay,
that
yeah,
Clacton
cleared
departure.
to Madrid, Glasgow 2 Juliet departure and Squawking 2151, Iberia 167.
2000 is the
Iberia
initial
167, correct.
transponder squawk, our initial climb of 3000, but we need to change it of course, so what's our QNH? 1018.
Austrian
EGMC
175,
towers just
turn
come
right,
online.
heading 180 degrees, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1018.
127, 750.
Right, heading 180.
This is the first time I've ever seen Southend Tower on. They're just setting up, so they've got information Delta. Runway news 23. That can't be correct. The wind's favouring the opposite direction. Right, so just going to have a little look at some setup, just to make sure that the departure's still correct for us. It's still going to take us over Clacton, of course. flight. Runway 23. There's ever so slight tailwind if that's the case. Unless the wind's changed. What does the ATIS say again? He's got an ATIS wind at 360, 11 knots. It should be 05. Southend Tower, good afternoon. Easy 829 at radio check.
Easy 829 Southend Tower, they readability 5.
Readability 5 also, thank you. Easy 829. Yeah, so still direct to Clacton. Not too much of an issue. What we'll have to do is change the EGMC and the flight plan there. Southend Tower, Easy 829, it stands 7, Airbus A320neo. With information Delta, QNH 1018, request RFR clearance to Hamburg.
Easy 829, Roger, standby.
I feel like I recognise the voice. Yeah, Echo, we're in Tower's frequency. After departure we'll then change to London controller. But now it's runway 23 departure. Can start to change this while I'm waiting. Still via Clacton, CLN. Basically after departure.
Easy 829, you ready?
Yeah, Roger, Easy 829.
Easy 829 cleared Hamburg via the Clacton preferred departure routing after departure. Runway 05, turn on track. Clacton, climb to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1018, squawk 6470.
Clear to Hamburg, via Clacton departure, runway 05, initial track Clacton, climb 3000, squawk 6470, Easy 829.
Easy 829, correct.
I've just changed it. There we go, let's change it back. This is where we kill the MCDU. So, squawk 6470. Oh, there we go, that's our boarding complete from PAX-SIM.
Welcome on board.
And it triggers the next audio announcement.
Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first. Keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free, and loose items of clothing.
So you've got very detailed, I'll show you guys the screen, loads of announcements.
We would kindly ask that you keep the aisles clear, enabling all remaining passengers. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking zone. Thank you for observing this policy.
Let's play the safety demo, shall we? I think it's that one. Which one is it? That
We
one?
now ask for your attention
Yeah.
while we take you through the safety procedures on this
Real
aircraft.
short taxi, so we'll
A
start it
safety
now.
card is in your seat pocket, showing the
Echo, you guys that are ready to go as well, you need to get clearance via Southend
and
Tower.
brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you.
We're in the EasyJet Europe car livery. It's available on flightsim.to, it's quite cool.
Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs
I'm just going to get the ground charts ready to go for
at all times.
taxiing.
If the air supply fails,
Runway 05, wasn't it? So it's going to involve a backtrack
pull the mask towards you to
via
start the
Charlie.
oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side.
Easy 829, request push and start.
Put on your own mask before helping others.
Easy 829, stand 7, push, Salisbury, face south, runway 05.
Under your feet. Put it over your
Push start
head.
approved at face south, runway 05, Easy 829.
Click together
Cockpit to
and hold
ground.
the strap to adjust.
We are ready for
Do not
pushback and
inflate
engine
the
start.
inside
on.
the aircraft.
Roger. Release the parking brakes,
When
please.
outside, inflate. We now ask for your
Parking brakes
attention while we
released.
take you
Oh,
through the
pushing
safety
back.
procedures on this aircraft.
That's the only problem.
A safety card is in
It's
your seat pocket, showing the
refreshed
exit route,
the Luke
oxygen
Air tool
mask, life
announcement.
jacket, and brace position that you must adopt. if you
Little
hear
annoying.
Brace, brace.
I've got the seatbelt signs on.
There are two
Yes.
emergency exits at the rear,
That's on
4
as
in
well.
the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your
Wrong
nearest
call
exit
sign.
may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board.
It's pushback start face south, so we're going
Your
to come in
seatbelt is
around the
fastened,
side of
adjusted,
Echo here.
and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull
Let's,
a mask
engine
towards
start,
you
shall
to
we?
start the oxygen. Put the mask
Click
over your
behind it
nose
and start your
and
engines
mouth.
at your discretion.
Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask
Yeah, they're
before
good.
helping others.
Let's just do
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat.
engine 1 starts, the one we're looking at right now.
Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children.
Pushback complete.
Your tray
Set
table
parking
must
brakes,
now be
please.
stowed, armrest down, window blinds
Parking
open,
brake set.
and seatbelt
Roger.
fastened.
Okay, the tow bar is
We wish you
disconnected and your
pleasant
equipment is
flight.
clear. We will see you on the left side with the pit.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Okay, that should be on. Off goes the tug. Engine 1's available. Let's do engine 2 start. Just going to stick that on now because it's going to be a very short taxi. The whole point is literally just at the other side of that extension terminal there. And we'll wait for engine 2 to start up. Flex temp 58 degrees today. Flaps 1 for departure. We'll use most of the runway, I'd imagine. Wow, I just had a little look at my thing. I was like, why have I got so many menus for Microsoft Flight Simulator open? For some reason it's open 3. Which is definitely not correct. VATSIM rates your everything basically, so it rates your departures, takeoff, everything. Wesley, hello, welcome. Engine 2. Flaps 1. Spoilers armed. Wing lights. Taxi lights. Easy 829 request taxi. Matthew, yeah, it is the freeware version from Southend, yeah, you're correct.
EJ89 taxi 1 Charlie 1 runway 05 via Alpha and Charlie.
Taxi hold point Charlie 1 via Alpha Charlie, yeah, easy 829. Or 829, or it should be really. So, brake test. Rejected takeoff, we want auto brake medium. And the cabin should be secure. Keeps sending me them by accident. So after departure, we will be tuning to London Centre, 129425. London Control, and he's streaming currently. So pretty much good coverage for the UK, of course, as we usually get on VATSIM. The links to all of the scenery we're checking out today are all on the description for today's stream, so check that out. Including Just Sims Hamburg that we're going to visit when we get there.
Tower, EZ152, radio check.
There's those guys.
EJ150 Southend Tower, readability 5.
Readability 5, thank you.
Bit of an odd airport to depart from, really. It's a very narrow taxiway as well. That's Charlie 2. You can see there on the red board on the left of your screen and on the right.
Easy 829, enter backtrack, line up runway 05.
Enter backtrack runway 05, easy 829er. Oh dear, there's the view. It's annoying when the keys don't quite, the mouse doesn't quite line up there. It gets can get a little bit annoying there. When you're trying to do stuff quickly with a very narrow space. You can see there we've got a very narrow area for us to taxi and turn on. So this is the freeware scenery for Southend. We're going to check out Hamburg, which of course is payware, and also version 0.6.4 from Macco Simulations as well, which is a great payware for Manchester Airport. Probably the best value that you can get in the sim actually at the moment, if I'm honest. Real tired taxi. Let's clear that departure chart, so we don't need that.
Southend Tower, ED152 with an Airbus A320neo at stand 4 with information Delta QNH is 1018 requesting IFR clearance.
You guys will be pleased to know as well, I'm actually working on a bit of a knee board, a digital knee board if you like, or a PDF as well that you can print out so that you guys can scribble down the data that you need.
ED152 Southend Tower, hello, cleared Hamburg via the Clacton preferred departure route after departure runway 05.
So basically what I use, you guys will be able to use.
Squawk 0325.
If you enjoyed today's stream, please consider clicking that like button down below, give us a little thumbs up. That's pretty good, we should really turn runway 2.
Cleared to Hamburg by the Clacton departure, so runway 05. After departure, turn track Clacton, climb to 3,000 feet. And QNH is 101.
So they say track Clacton because it's there's actually no SID. It's basically you fly direct to the VOR.
Easy 829, runway 05, surface into 360 degrees 1 knots, clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 05, easy 829. So normally when you hear brake brake, there's actually some snow falling at Southend. You can see it there on the screen. That's pretty cool. So snowing in Southend at the moment, ever so slightly. Should have really put the chrono on for gate to gate. Put the other chrono on for our actual departure. You see it, perfect timing. 1,900 meters long this. An aviation sim, the Southend is pretty dead at the moment for an airport. Flex, departure, thrust set. Pushing forward on the stick to get some weight on the nose, and 80 to 100, ease it back to neutral. We've got a quite strong crosswind. B1, rotate. Positive rate, go up.
Southend Tower, ED152 ready for push and start.
ED152 Squawk 0325.
Squawk 0235, ED152.
Get the autopilot on. Oh, this damn scroll wheel. It gets so frustrating at times. Do speed 215 for now.
EZ92 contact London Control 129.45, bye bye.
Contact London Control 129.425, bye bye, easy 89, thank you.
Juliet, Summon 1 Charlie arrival when ready, descend flight level 90 level by
So the
Jacko.
SID here for the departure was track
Summon 1
to
Charlie,
3000 and hold the
arrival and
altitude
ready, flight level
until Clacton
90
unless
by
cleared
Jacko.
otherwise.
Delta Romeo Juliet.
We're in cloud as well, so I'd imagine in a minute we're going to get ice.
And then control ocean view 7 Romeo Sierra 2500 4000 Inver 1 Zulu.
Ocean View 7 Romeo Sierra London, hello, climb now, flight level 260.
Hyperlevel level 260 Ocean View 7 Romeo Sierra.
Under control, hello, Easy 829, airborne 3000 on a Clacton departure for Southend.
Easy 829, London, hello, climb flight level 110.
Climb flight level 110, Easy 829. So, airborne. We're doing 1800 foot per minute climb for now. I'm just going to keep us a little bit slow until we pass Clacton.
Delta Romeo Juliet, request information on runway news London City.
Delta Romeo Juliet.
There's no speed restrictions
Runway
as
09.
such.
Do you have the star? You just
What we could do is track there direct to the... We've got it in the actual flight plan,
Yes,
so
was choosing
just tracking
1
the
X-ray, now
distance.
back to 1 Charlie, Delta Romeo Juliet.
Clear the
Delta Romeo Juliet, thank
nav
you. And
chrono.
cleared the odd leg 1 Juliet transition, runway 09.
Let Juliet transition runway 09.
When you're inbound Southend, you've got to fly an NDB arrival, which is quite old school, similar to Leeds Bradford actually, to be fair.
FedEx 3242, route direct, Rapster, Romeo Alpha Victor Sierra Alpha.
We are already facing direct to
It's absolutely miserable, isn't it, guys?
No, Rapster's at your 3 o'clock, 11 miles, you're heading southbound, so
There's
you need
the
to turn right
in-sim
towards
ice.
Rapster.
The rain on the window is pretty realistic,
direct to
I'd say.
FX 3242.
London Centre, Speedbird 423, flight level 160.
Out through the clouds.
423, you're still way outside my airspace, but it's the Logan 2 hotel arrival. So you can check coverage on our website. You can monitor this frequency, but I'll give you a call later on.
Sure, 423.
Close the Lucas all for now. Sorry, the
321, nothing further now. Monitor Unicorn 122 left.
Pushback Express, we don't need that.
Sorry, yes, it was. Monitor Unicorn, bye-bye.
If you want to set custom views, check out the channel.
And Canada 477
I've got a
36
video that shows you exactly how to do that using the A32NX files, so you don't have to edit the base config files of the actual sim itself.
Hello control, hello, Speedbird 2771, wish you flight level 190.
Speedbird 2771 London, hello.
So Clacton almost down below.
Arrival, squawk 0326.
Ipswich, etc., and then we'll be heading
Rockstart 1 hotel
over
arrival,
the channel.
squawk 0326, Speedbird 2771.
Ryanair 972, nothing further now. Monitor Unicom 122.8.
On departure out Southend. We've just done 3 in about 10 minutes today.
Hello, 315 Alpha runway vacated via November 4 Echo and request gate 238 at Terminal 2 Bravo.
LL 315 Alpha Roger, pass that request on to ground 121.9.
121.9 Baba LL 315 Alpha.
London Control,
We'll have to leave icing on as well because of the
good afternoon,
way the sim
inbound
renders
Kuna
all the
flight level
ice
380.
falling out the sky.
Roger, score me Charlie,
Maybe
please.
next, who have we got? So we don't have, we've got London's
All forward,
south
sorry,
and west.
Comlux 9 circular.
No worries, Comlux 90 Kilo,
no one
squawk
else
0336, Kunav 1 Golf arrival.
Loads of controllers on at the minute.
0336 is on, Kuna 1 Golf arrival, Comlux 9 circular. Thank you.
I'd imagine Norwich is closer to Clacton on Sea actually.
Air Canada 477, expedite descent to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1019.
Standard pressure.
Express Southend 3000 101 here,
Tax-free allowances today. Easy 829er, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350 for Easy 829er. They really need to sort out this open flight. It's too harsh.
Comlux 9 Sierra Kilo,
We're going to do
flight level
2000 for
160.
for now. As we get higher, we can amend that. Bring that down.
Speedbird 2771, route direct Hazel.
Germany's pretty good for VATSIM, so hopefully by the time we get there...
Easy 829 outside my airspace, I'm afraid. Monitor Unicorn 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicorn 122.8, have a good day, Easy 829, bye-bye.
Delta Romeo Juliet,
Now else we popped up on his stream on Twitch, flying through his airspace. The Hamburg scenery is pretty good. What does that yellow mean there? Needs tea. What? Alright, let me show you guys this. So this is the Luke Air tool. Let me hide this. So I just had a passenger show orange. This one here. Although I can't click now. When I get another one showing orange, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But basically there are multiple actions that I have to do throughout the flight with a couple of different passengers. This is all free as well, so it's not like VATSIM where you have to buy it. It's completely free. It's actually quite a good little bit of kit. All of the announcements there were automated, so there was me clicking them thinking I had to trigger it myself, but actually the minute pushback ended it automatically went into that safety demonstration, so that's quite cool. And then above 10,000 we had the duty free and in-flight bar announcement triggered automatically too, which is pretty good. Actually it's the first time I'm using it. It does seem quite good. You can change 3 different speeds for boarding as well, and it monitors a score depending on how smooth your flight goes. So takeoff, landing, etc. is all monitored. Orange basically means, I thought it meant an ill passenger, but it basically means a passenger that wants attention or needs something. So you click onto it and it'll tell you what they're requesting. I'll show you guys when another one pops up shortly. You see, you should have an ETA on the top of your screen in the overlay. I think around about 1430 Zulu or so. Our arrival today takes us in over the Airbus factory at Finkverden in Hamburg. Which is quite a good one to fly out of if you want a little buzz about somewhere. Hamburg's great in the sim as well. Usually gets good coverage on VATSIM, which as you all know is a win-win for me. I do like VATSIM. It usually is. It's a very popular livery, this Europe car one. There's an EasyJet Holidays one as well available. The only problem is, as you guys can see at the front, cargo loading doors. The way Asobo have done the textures means that because the rear one is green, the hinge is replicated on the front as well, and they can't get rid of that. But that's available to download for free on flightsim.to as well. There's a EasyJet old school EasyJet.com style sort of livery that used to be on their old 737s. We've got the Europe car, EasyJet Holidays, normal EasyJet, and I think a fully orange one as well. There's quite a few. All good textures, of course. I will be showing you guys how, as well, on a video coming soon, how to actually amend and edit the VMR model matching files yourself, because I appreciate everybody's setup is very different. So even though I've created a massive file with a couple of hundred liveries for people to use in one file, what I'm going to do, what I appreciate is it's not a file that just fits everybody's needs. So I'm going to do a video on how to actually go through your own community folder, find the information you need and tweak the file exactly to how you want it. and that'll allow me then to show you guys the better way of creating the file, including double slashes and a few other bits, so that it randomizes what it selects each time, and it shortens the size of the file as well, so it's actually easier to update. So that'll be coming soon, and I'll be doing a few more bits in relation to VATSIM as well to help you guys get started. Oh, had a little cabin chime then. So, yep. What you get, you guys should have heard that as well. A little cabin chime go off, and then you can see there I've got an orange passenger. Leo Cooper, he wants a milk bottle heated. So we go ahead and select that on the menu, click done. And because we were nice and quick, our score updates, so we get an additional score there. And we get a score rating at the end. They have a leaderboard as well, actually. Aviation Sim, very true. It's hard to tell, I just leave a dash there usually now, because a lot of liveries have them pre-written, so I lose track of which one's which. But well noticed, I'd not actually realised that. I've stopped looking at the rear of the aircraft now, to be honest. Redfur, what have we got? Spy, so it's north of Flightzilla. Oh dear. So what issues are you having then from them? Matthew, I'm not sure if it's the IVAO one. I've actually been unable to get any IVAO files showing myself. Ice not detected. We're covered in it. I'll leave it on. Sometimes the liveries themselves don't work particularly well, and if that's the case, then we get problems with the matching where it just doesn't work. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately, because the file itself is correct. We rely on the liveries actually being configured properly for AI. Flightzilla, so I'm guessing you've got clearance, pushback and everything like that. Try writing in text, so if you're doing speech, voice chat, try and just type a quick one saying request taxi on there. And if you don't get anything, then I would just start taxiing. I would announce it as if you're on Unicom. Echo, hello, have you caught up by any chance? I quite like this pack sim. So basically you wait to hear another chime. Yeah, Flightzilla, I would just, in that case, I would do a position report as if you're announcing on Unicom, and then I would just taxi, because I heard you call up earlier when we were departing Southend, so a bit of an odd one that. Perhaps he stepped away from the computer for a few minutes. I'm probably going to be setting some more custom views over the next few weeks as well, so in fact I could do one now. So what have I got? I've got 5, 6 and 8. Let's set, we'll start it here so I can actually do it properly. Let's go out of the socket. Okay, one maybe further. It's a bit of a pain in the backside doing this, but once it does work and snap in, it works nicely. So I want to get one that gets the gear doors going down, so that looks really cool. So that I might do that one. So Control Alt 9. Flight level 350 is our cruise. Right, so I've just set that. Oh, Flightzilla, yeah, that'd be why then. That's odd. So once we've set that frequency, I can go ahead and check that again by going Alt 9. Yes, there we go, set. So check out my video on how to do custom views if you want to learn how to do that once you've set it up initially and you've got a few, you don't have to edit the file anymore. You can just go through like I've just done there, and you can just go through and set your own views continuously then. And each aircraft is different, so you could go ahead and trigger a custom view in another aircraft and basically set that. Wesley, good question. You can push back without Pushback Express, but it's quite difficult to use if you're using VATSIM, for example, because you have to tune out of the frequency you're using to then use the drop-down UI ATC to request pushback in the sim. You could use the hotkey Shift plus P, but then all you're going to get is a straight push. You can't, without changing the frequency, you can't turn. But as David's saying there's a great freeware tool called Pushback Helper, and I think that's on flightsim.to as well. And it's very similar to how Pushback Express works, although I've not personally checked it out. Just heard another cabin bell. So what have we got down at the back? Luke Binder wants a soda drink. So there we go, that's done. 145 passengers on board there. Once we land as well, it requires you to connect to the gate and do all the ground equipment, baggage, catering, etc. and click deplane as well, and it will deboard the aircraft. So this is really good, little free bit of software. You can download it initially for free, again on flightsim.to for the Luke Air tool. Tasha Tulip Spy, so we're going into Amsterdam radar territory, and then Eel is pretty much at the beginning of almost the start, yeah. There's Revler. Wesley, that's good. I'm trying to keep the streams informative for everybody all the time. As always, if there's any questions, just ask in the chat. And if you check out my VATSIM tutorial playlists, I've tried to cover all of the basics across each different phase of flight for VATSIM on that tutorial mini-series that I've got on the channel. And in the descriptions for each of those, you guys can click and download from my Google Drive a free PDF file, which basically supplements that information and helps you follow along on streams as well, so you can follow along the conversation that we'll have with the tower controllers and so on. And there's some free PDFs that you guys can download for free as well. I am also working on a little knee board, so the idea is a small piece of paper, you guys can print it out, the piece of paper that I always refer to use myself in the streams, so you'll be able to print it out and scribble on it with all of your own flight data whenever you're using VATSIM as well. So again, something else that's trying to make things useful for everybody basically, and get people onto the VATSIM network and enjoy it, get confident with it. Jilprick, bonjour, hello. Keith, yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? So there's loads of different options when somebody clicks, when somebody dings the cabin bell in the Luke Air tool. Wesley, how do I find a gate in the airport without good frames per second and can't see the taxiways? What do you do? You use ChartFox. Just try your best. If you get lost and you're on VATSIM and you really don't know where you're going, you can just ask the controller for progressive taxi. So you could say, for example, we landed at Southend and didn't know our way around, and we couldn't work out the direction by the charts. We could say at Southend Tower, Easy 829er, unfamiliar with the airport, request progressive taxi. And that's basically asking the controller for taxi instructions. And then they'll try and help you navigate. So they'll say, take second left onto Alpha, and then second right onto Bravo, and all that. And then you're basically looking for the stands from there. What I tend to do on ChartFox is count the stands from the entry point onto the apron for where I'm taxiing in from. So I know that as I'm entering the apron, I'll have like 3 or 4 stands, for example, and then the next stand on the right will be the one that I need to park at. There's another ding. Echo, no problem at all. Let's have a little look at the Luke Air tool again. I've had another cabin bell go off. Down the back again, all the economy passengers. Quinn Wisniewski wants a blanket. Should have bought a coat with him. It's winter. But there we go. He's done. So a lot of people tend to use VATSIM. No, what's it called? PACX. A lot of people tend to use PACX, and I've not given that a go. But this tool is completely free, and it's just a little bit of extra immersion, I guess, for replicating airline-style flights. There are different pilot announcements and stuff as well. Just have a little click around, see what's on there. Takeoff. So there's a prepare for landing. There's some taxi ones as well. So if there's taxi delays, there's an announcement for waiting for clearance or received clearance. And you can change the colours as well, actually. So what have we got here? The layout of the aircraft as well can be changed. So of course in the sim we've got different aircraft, haven't we? So if we were using a Dreamliner or a 747-8, we would be able to download from the Luke Air Tool Discord server the passenger files, the loading files for those aircraft too. So the loading screen that we can see there will update depending on what aircraft we configure it to use, which again is quite a good little tool. What have we got for by way of destinations? 288 miles to Hamburg. There's our RIBSO arrival. Quite a convoluted arrival procedure into Hamburg, and it's like a lot of German routes. There's a lot of waypoints, and you sort of zigzag on the way in. But as we get closer, I'll show you guys that. If of course you want any of the sceneries that we are visiting today, so Southend, Hamburg and Manchester, just click the description for the stream and you'll find links to each one of those in the description. I'm pleased the VATSIM thing isn't triggering loads and loads of cabin bells, because I think it would get very frustrating. Interestingly enough as well, I went into our user config files in the sim. You know that workaround that everybody was talking about where you do sharpening to 0 and it gets rid of the fluffiness. And film grain, I think the other one was. I've gone and done that and it's no better. Spy to eel. There's another ding. Toby Cox wants some milk, of all the things. So in that goes. And the amber warning thing goes off as well. Don, I can try. The outputs can be hit and miss. It all depends on the controllers really and their own voice settings. So I've got the output volume for ATC on -6 now. Well, it was -4. I've just dropped it to -6 to see if that helps. But we don't have. Just scrolling through the list. We've got loads of Manchester ATC for the way back, which would be quite good. But none in Germany at the moment, interestingly enough. So we're on Unicom for the rest. So that's somebody asking if anybody's on Unicom, but of course lots of people are, so bit of an odd question to ask. Just trying to work out roughly when to think about descent. We're a little bit early yet, of course, but we can have a little look at the charts. Ribso 5 Alpha arrival, wasn't it? So let me show you guys the arrival route. Again, using Navigraph. So we're looking at that Ribso 5 Alpha runway 05 arrival, and it says there max speed 250 knots below flight level 100. The Luke Air Tool Pack Sim penalises you for overspeeding as well below 10,000, so it monitors everything using FSUIPC. So clearance limit, Ribso, we have to be below flight level 110 at that point. There is a hold at Ribso if it's busy, and then we're coming in via Delta Hotel 210, 211 with a speed constraint of 220 knots, and we'll be testing that out with the A32NX today to see if that works. And then we're doing that sort of extended downwind looking style pattern. 213, 214, 215, 255, 256, 257, which is our transition then into our arrival procedure. And then ILS 05. It's a straight-in approach from Delta Hotel 257. We're actually overflying Hamburg Finkenwerder, which is the Airbus factory down below as we make our way in. So we'll look out for that as we make our way in. And you can see there we've got our approach plates there. So 3,000 for the glide slope at Annexi, which is 10.5 nautical miles from the Alf VOR, which is at Hamburg Airport. So we'll tune that frequency as well as we get closer. Decision heights at the bottom. We're category C because of weight, so 217 for the rad outs decision height, or 249 foot for the MDA. It's got their straight in landing. If the glide slopes out, the missed approach becomes 560 foot MDA. On Unicom, one of the main tips is try not to use it as a chat channel, just position reports. There is a .chat function, so you can type .chat into the text line, and then the call sign of the aircraft you want to contact, and you can then privately message people. Missed approach data on the charts, climb straight ahead, intercept and follow the Ham VOR, which is on the right hand side of your screen there. And then continue basically back on ourselves, you can see there, so we fly downwind and then back and round on ourselves to have a second go on the approach. Transition altitude of 5,000. For us, which we'll need for the charts and the approach data and stuff as well. about Flight Simulator. Yeah, good. Hopefully we get it busy on the way back as well. I can see 2 London controllers online, so it's looking good for the return to Manchester. Manchester Tower and bits on as well. Does the procedure include the approach? Yep, so the plates that we were looking at the end there was the approach. The one prior to that was the star, so that was the arrival route that we fly before we then commit to the approach for the runway. So I could show you some others if it helps. And there's an argument brewing on Unicom now. So DH257 is the very bottom left of the screen, and we're actually targeting that with our RIBSO 5 Alpha, which is there. So we get to that point, and then from there the approach plate takes over, which then shows us flying that glide slope and that localizer ILS approach straight to runway 05. If we were flying a 1 Delta arrival, it would look something like that, and we'd be flying then on a different approach to another runway. PACSIM's just gone off, so let's have a little look what's going on there. Second time she's wanted something, that passenger at C26A. She wants a tissue. Good grief. Get up and get one then. They're done. See, VATSIM's particularly good as Flight Simulator saying for UK. The US gets a lot of coverage as well, which is good. What did we want? We wanted below flight level 110, wasn't it, by RIBSO? Exactly. Well made by that Ryanair pilot. RIBSO flight level 110, so we've got some way to go. But we can work out roughly when we might want to start descending. Revler, Soren, and that one there at the top of your screen there is RIBSO. Yeah, RIBSO. So that's where we want to be at flight level 110. So probably want to start descending by DOTOB or MPIT, one of those, to get down. 20 odd thousand foot to lose, haven't we? So there is a app called Descend.now, I think it is. Mentioned it yesterday in the stream. I'll stick it in the live chat again. That's quite handy, so you punch in your data. So where we are now, we're at 35,000 and we want to be at 10,000 by RIBSO. The descent speed's about 290 knots, but we want to be below 240 by the time we get there. 3 degree glide slope, and it's telling us we want 1400 foot per minute with a 84 nautical mile descent. So that's probably about DOTOB then, or MPIT actually, because yeah, it's about 160 miles away. So about MPIT, we're going to start our descent down. We're going to aim for a continuous descent in. Once we get close as well, we should start to get, that's that thing again, isn't it? He wants a coffee. There you go, have a coffee. I feel like that should be automated, so we can still hear the dings and things, but I shouldn't be clicking coffee or tissue. I feel like that should be automatic. Oops. Whoops. I'll show you what I did there in a second as well. So, at the top of your screen, I didn't realise, that seatbelt icon there, if you click that, it actually comes up with, there we go, that's probably better for you guys so you can actually see what's going on. It actually comes up with, so your scores at the top, but it activates the seatbelt signs as well. Not bad for something that's free though. I'd rather get systems and things that are free. Poland have got centre controllers on. London South, London West are online, so they're good. If you're flying out of Bristol, London West is of course what you would be using. Dusseldorf have got ground, and Berlin as well. So let's get the latest METAR for Hamburg EDDH, and the wind is 030 at 8 knots. We go ahead and put this in. So QNH 1019. Temperature is 3 degrees. Light rain and drizzle broken at 600, broken at 1100. Wind was 030 at 8 knots, but it's also gusting variable 360 to 060. And was it transition was 5,000? I think I said, wasn't it? He says, trying to remember. Let's have a quick check of the approach plates. Yeah, 5,000 on the charts. And our decision height was Cat C 217 for the Radau. Or we could use 249 for MDA, but then we wouldn't get the minimums call out. The DH is useful more so for things like auto land, but we don't have that in the sim yet. Plus I quite like the ground callouts, so I tend to use decision height more than anything else. There's a lot of work going on with the custom fly-by-wire as well, updating the A320, making it a little bit more study level. So there's a lot of work going on with the autopilot being amended so that flies better, works better in managed modes. So obviously at the moment we're on selected altitude. We can put it on managed. If we descend, it descends too steeply. Where did I say we were going to start descending one? M-pit, wasn't it? Yeah, and that should give us then rib, so that's about right. Wesley, to disable MSFS ATC, you could just tune a frequency and it will get rid of it. Although there are some places like near Chicago where some ATIS information, automatic stuff comes back in again from the sim. There's a setting somewhere in the sim that where you can turn off all the ATC, all the voice settings, everything down to 0. So then if like me you only use VATSIM, then you can change that to 0 so you don't have any in-sim ATC at all. Or at least you mute it, I guess. So, prep for our descent to 11,000. Brandenburg approach are online, but we can't see any for Hamburg yet. Oh, so the text pop-ups that we're seeing appearing on the screen, that's a setting within vPilot. So that's people communicating via chat on Unicom itself, so position reports and all that sort of stuff. That's what you guys can see. You can actually go and in vPilot, when you're connected to the network, you can, in settings, you want to go to the notifications box, and at the very bottom of the list it says show incoming text messages in simulator. Make sure that's ticked, and then you get the voice pop-ups, or the chat pop-ups I should say, that you're seeing on the screen today. There's another ding from the Luke Air Tools PAX Sim down at the front today. C1B wants a sick bag, lovely. Violet Simon. So she's got a sit bag. And that's all, everybody's merry again. Score 124. Not sure how high the score can get. I think it all depends on landing and on-time departures and things as well. William, nice. Is that IVAO, or is it all of it working for you? I keep meaning to re-download the Altitude IVAO CSL model files, but I just can't put myself through a 1 hour really super slow download process again, just for the low poly models. So start, you know what we need to do as well, ILS 110.5. That goes in. We want the Alpha VOR 115.8, and for missed approach we want the Hamburg VOR, which is 113.1, programmed to VOR 2. Put that VOR course in there as a backup for the ILS. Oh, look at that! It's we left it in manage mode, and it's automatically started descent. So it's recognised we've got a constraint coming up, and it's decided to start doing it. But you can see, if we leave it unmanaged, we've got a hideous rate of descent, minus 37 foot per minute, 3,700 foot per minute. So I'm just going to go and take over and put it into vertical speed mode. We'll leave it on manage mode to see if it holds the constraints as we fly, but it should also now hold the speed constraints accurately. So whereas before, you guys will remember, as it passed each speed constraint it would get confused and the speed would keep jumping back and forth between two different options. Now it should have fixed it, so we're testing that today as well. We're seeing actually if all of that's working. William, yeah, you'd need the mega pack ideally, and then also a lot of files from flightsim.to. So I guess if there's any specific liveries that you really want, I'd imagine you've already got them downloaded. So a little while, and then we'll put the seatbelt signs on. I wonder if I should have clicked that on the Luke Air Tool button and pack sim as well. I wonder if that's maybe lose points. Still don't quite fully know how it works, to be honest. If you're new to the channel, a very warm welcome. Do click that subscribe button down below, join us as a frequent flyer, and head to our Discord as well. We've got a screenshot competition going on there, and all the latest information from a number of different add-ons and stuff, real cool add-ons that I like to use in the sim. As William's mentioned in there, all of those are in our Discord server as well. One handy place for everything, basically. Don't forget, we've got Super Chat open as well. If you want to support the stream, you could use Super Chat as one of the methods. You can get your message popped out on the screen and read out by Streamlabs directly for everybody to hear. You can see those constraints coming up there. Interestingly, Ribso doesn't have one though. We can go ahead and enter it, so if you want to enter a constraint, so ribso for example, we can go ahead and enter that there, and if we want to be below, we'll make sure it's minus, and we can add altitude constraint of 110. There is a speed constraint at the one after, and there we go, we can see there 220 knots. So we just managed the aircraft. Interestingly, it's put itself back into managed descent. Far steeper than we need, so I'm just going to call it down to 1100 foot per minute descent. Sim Toolkit Pro is another add-on that people like to use, although I've not used it for a long time myself because I was finding it was causing me more issues than I wanted really. Whenever I was running that, I was getting odd things happening with the sim, and the landing rating as well wasn't particularly accurate, so that was one of the things I was using it for. I thought if that doesn't work, then there's no point using it really. Multitasking, so while we're in the descent, I'm just getting our return journey generated from Hamburg in Simbrief. We can import that straight in as well, of course. You guys will remember a little while ago they changed the what are we doing? EGCC. They changed the FMGC and the way the importation works for Simbrief so that we can actually keep re-requesting the airport data. And we'll do a diversion of Birmingham, shall we? So another pack sim wants a coffee, so I'll just quickly click that. And has it put itself? It has, hasn't it? It's put itself back into vertical speed mode. Good grief! Talk about making it difficult. I'm going to go ahead and just put it out of that. So we've got our route generated for the return now. Go ahead and generate that package. You can pre-file on VATSIM as well, so you can, once you generate a flight plan on Simbrief, you keep scrolling down, there's a bit that says pre-file on VATSIM, and you can click that, log in through their single sign-on system, and it allows you to pre-file your route. So when you log in on vPilot, you can just click in flight plan, fetch flight plan, and it will pull it straight from the server into your vPilot client with your call sign. But obviously you have to make sure your Simbrief call sign is the same as what you're going to log into vPilot with, and that's a nice easy way of importing your flight plan into vPilot. And of course then we use the Simbrief integration as well in the A32NX. Mishi, hello, welcome. A couple of aircraft there conversing with each other because they are fairly close, so they're working together for separation purposes. And we're making our way down to Hamburg. Asobo really need to fix the icing issues on the aeroplane because it does ruin it somewhat, doesn't it? So what we'll do is we'll do a turnaround with the Luke Air Tool pack sim. So we'll deboard, we'll set up for the return, and then we'll head back in again. Head back to Manchester, so we'll have to board the aircraft again, and I'll show you guys how all of that works again. Now I'm starting to understand that a little bit better. 40 track miles to go until we enter the star. So at this point, regularly, I always recommend regularly checking vPilot just to see if any Hamburg controllers come online, approach or otherwise. got a couple more days this week where I might be able to get some streams in as well, guys. If there's anything you guys might want to see, let me know in the live chat. A little early to start turning those VORs on, to be fair, so I'll leave them off for now. Ribso in about 38 miles. So we're on track to be below 11,000 by then. William, you should log into VATSIM at Hamburg and join us for the return as well. I'm going to put the route in for the live chat for the return. And that's our return journey. We're using the latest AirAC 2014. Ah, yeah, well, no problem at all. I forgot actually, yeah, you did say yesterday, didn't you? Memory like a sieve. So a little review of our progress so far. Navigraph, you can see there we've smashed all the way over to the entry point for our star. Our arrival's going to look like that, and we can select ILS 25 via Delta Hotel 257, and there we go, we can add that into the plate as well. So we've got our entire route planned on onto Navigraph. And there's Hamburg Finkverden. There's one version of it there. There's also Hamburg Finkverden there as well. And it's that straight in arrival to Hamburg. There's that Ulster VOR at the airport itself, and the missed approach data. You can see the dotted line tracking that Hamburg VOR that's offset. So get that ready. Get the approach plates on the side tab ready to go as well. Always try and be one step ahead as we make our way in. And what I'm going to do as well on the Luke Air tool, VATSIM, I'll show you guys this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on. Of course, it doesn't control anything beyond that. Max, a very small amount of people have mentioned that actually. You see, I was planning for departing on runway 05, but yeah, runway 33 could be a good one. So what we can do is descent announcement.
You will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside.
Flight Zilla, no problem at all. Thanks for joining us on the outbound.
Down and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Start to slow us down. Yeah, very true. We could do runway 33 UC. I'm happy with that. I'll just update my Simbrief plan. There we go, yeah, so WSN 3 Golf departure as UC said. So what's next on our descent planning? We want to be at Delta Hotel 257 above 4,000. The top of descent calculators work nicely there actually. You can see we're coming up to 10 miles from Ribso. We have to be below flight level 110. We're pretty much achieving that. So aiming for that continual descent all the way. Max, nice. Yeah, a few people have mentioned that they've had a crash to desktop when they load at Manchester, but then they've quite a few have found that there's one piece of one mod, sometimes random bits as well. So like one guy had the A32NX mod. There was an issue with a file there that clashed and it caused a crash to desktop. But once he had cleared everything, started the sim fresh, cleared the cache for the game, and then reinstalled Manchester first on its own, it all worked again. He was able to then put everything back in again. So do make sure that everything's up to date. With your sim. So any add-ons that you might use, of course, make sure all of that's up to date. So we're just waiting for this turn now for Ribso, happening any second.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is
That will,
safely
thank
stowed
you
with your
for
laptop
becoming a frequent flyer.
inside.
Welcome to the channel.
Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Regis is asking what the approach at the top of the screen show ICAO code, ETA, etc. So that's an overlay that's basically telling us where we started, where we ended, and then how long we got till we land with our call sign and the aircraft we're using, with the altitude and a few other bits. What I should have done as well actually was put that on. Delta Hotel 210. Hamburg traffic, easy 829er. Inbound via Ribso, 5 Alpha arrival for the ILS runway 05. Quick position report on vPilot. Max, how do you clear your cache? Empty everything out of your community folder and then start the sim fresh, and it clears it all apparently. I'm not quite sure. Regis, you can download it. It's called Fly Live Studio. It's more of an overlay for streams, but it gives you some data as well on a dedicated program. Let's see what it does here. So the speed constraints there, 220. We're actually going to need some some speed brake. And check pack sim as well, of course. Nope, it's got confused already. Okay, well that's not correct. So it's already got confused. So I'm going to go ahead and activate approach phase, and then I can just leave it back in managed speed mode. We'll go direct to Delta Hotel 213 just to give the guys behind a bit more of a gap. He says, whilst the aircraft's working out what he wants to do. I'm just making sure the aircraft doesn't break as well, so keeping a little eye on this nav display as we make our way in. Let's get some cool views actually. Regis, if you Google Fly Live Studio, I think it's one of the first two options that comes up, maybe the second option that comes up. pretty nice scenery as we make our way in. Let's check the port side, the starboard side. A couple of wind farms down there. That Hotel 257 is pretty much directly ahead of us actually, ever so slightly offset on the left. EDDH, QNH 1019 are now. Oh, which is what I put anyway, I just hadn't updated it. Silly me. Clear that speed brake. We can go ahead and arm that now as well, of course. We'll leave icing on for the time being, although it says icing not detected, doesn't it? So let's turn it off. Because it does affect performance. Lights are on. Do crew all call. We're on live. We're on Unreal Weather, and it's pulling in the data from Hamburg. Interestingly enough, so I'll press it again to recall it. Oh, there we go. It just hadn't updated for some reason. Sometimes Unreal Weather does get stuck. What you can watch out for here as well, sometimes, because these are very close together, what the aircraft can do is go, well, you know what, we'll go from Delta Hotel 213 straight to Delta Hotel 257, and it will then just skip all of these waypoints because they're close together, so the aircraft decides, oh, I don't want to fly them. So when you get closer, what you want to do is just keep your eye out on those, and make sure your VORs are ready as well if you've got them. Missed approach for the VORs. Darton, hello, welcome. Yeah, this is pretty much more accurate to what the METAR is saying, to be fair. 214 should be next. Max, nice, gate 13. We shall be down very shortly. Am I right in saying, Echo, you're joining us for the return as well? Flightzilla's unable, so he's landing at Hamburg and logging off. And then we've got UC, I think, as well as joining us. Good, it's turning, Delta Hotel 214. Quick review of the approach plates, and we want to start to hit the Delta Hotel 257 was above 4,000, and then it was a glide slope intercept at 3,000 at a NXC. Cool, so we're ready for that. You see it, no problem at all. Yeah, William, I think, yeah, it does sound like it. It's going to be good, actually. I do like you guys tuning in and flying with this at the same time. It's quite fun. Just a quick check of VPilot to make sure we've not got any controllers or anything online last minute. I think some of the guys were behind me, not that I can see them. But they're there somewhere. Hamburg traffic, EZ829er, turning base for runway 05 ILS. Just going to cut in now, 600 foot per minute, flaps 1. Right, William, yeah, thank you. Wasn't sure, because one of them was mentioning about skipping the star or something earlier, so. You see it, very true. Company message is always an option. Hamburg through the clouds somewhere. Landing mode arm. Oh yeah, flight zilla, to be fair, you were a little while away. Anti-ice detected, brilliant. Didn't take long, did it? Get that on. Down we go, ready for that ILS intercept. Some nice wind farms down there, guys. Let's make that tight turn now. Go 090. ILS mode on the nav display. And that's creeping, magenta line, so let's arm approach mode. Flaps 2. It's saying we've got good connection here, guys. Interestingly, it's not giving us a good line up there for the runway, so let's just arm localizer for a second. See what it does. Good grief, this is throwing me right out. Is it going to get us back online? Nope. Doing a very bizarre thing. That's correct, on the RadNav page. Okay, now it's starting to pick up the glide slope. You want to join the glide slope from below, of course. And if you're using manual heading like I did, make sure you reset your heading bug at the top in blue, so you can fly that runway heading after departure if you have to go around.
Cabin crew prepare for landing.
Okay, seems to be on the ILS nicely again now. That's good, happy with that. There's that Hamburg VOR for go around. Oh, you know what, we could check out our new view that we set as well. Was that Alt 9, wasn't it? So when we're in the glide slope, once we're on the glide path, we'll go to that extra view and check out the gear coming down. In a few days, be sure to check out the video tutorial I've got coming up with basically help on where to get what to do on Unicom effectively, and then within a couple of weeks I'll have finished the entire VATSIM tutorial mini-series on the channel too. You can see now on the nav display and eventually on the PFD as well, that glide slope, that vertical guidance, magenta diamond will start to come down. Once it meets the yellow line, like the lateral guidance has done there at the bottom of the PFD, then we'll start to fly the glide slope. You can see in blue as well, glide slope mode's armed. So another thing that's worth pointing out. GS is blue, so that's armed currently. Once it goes active, it will go green, and we should then get GS moved to where alt is, and it should be green at that point. And you've got our decision height there on the annunciator. ILS frequency of 110.5, the program at the bottom, and the 4-letter code identifier as well is correct. So Lots of information on the screens that help us work out if what we're actually flying into is correct for us. And flying through the very latest METAR, which looks correct, so fair play to in real weather. Now I've forced it in anyway, it's working nicely. And for those of you just tuning in, we're going to be checking out the Just Sim Hamburg Airport scenery. It's on sale, actually, I think, at the minute on simmarket.com. Cloud base like this as well, I'm not sure if we're going to see the Airbus factory Hamburg Finkverden as we fly over, but we'll look out for it. Aviation sim, I'm not sure actually, I've not personally looked at it. Not too sure. You can see now we're almost intercepting the ILS. Hamburg traffic easy 829er established on the ILS runway 05 just on the glide. Finals to land. So you'll see now on the annunciator, I'll show you guys before I change the view again. Once that captures the glide slope, watch the top of your screen on the PFD. And there we go. So we've captured the glide slope now, so down we go for our final approach. A couple of miles, we've got 10 miles to that VOR on the airport. And let's check out, what was the view that I wanted? Alt 9 offset. Oh, there's Finkverden. So let's go, gear down. Flaps 3. Full flaps. Regis, yeah, it should, but the way the autopilot flies managed mode at the minute is quite aggressive, so I tend to leave it on selected altitude at the moment, just to make it easier. There's an aircraft ahead of us. Is that somebody flying out? I think it is, isn't it? This is where TCAS would be great. Yeah, Flightzilla probably, yeah, because our distance. I'm going to be annoyed if this is somebody on Unicom that's not even bothered to announce his position, because then I'm going to have to go around. So let's just prep the charts. Climb straight ahead, direct to VOR, climbing 4,000. Missed approach altitude set. TCAS, yeah, unfortunately it's not working just yet. There's the runway. So we're just visual with that. There is an aircraft just on the ground, it's strobes, so thankfully we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, it probably is. Sometimes vPilot puts strobes and things on for no reason at all, it's a little bit odd. Weird positioning though, because at one point it looked like it was on our approach with us. So our last little look of Hamburg on the way in, on the descent. The beeping you can hear there is the outer markers. Nice stable approach. 13 knot headwind actually on arrival, so that's actually really nice for us Yeah, Max said. Yeah, I'd imagine they're not on. It's just the odd way that the simulator deals with VATSIM traffic at the minute. A couple of aircraft sometimes just have their strobes permanently on, which is quite bizarre. 1000. Manual control. And now, of course, it's getting bumpy, isn't it? Of course it is. So we've got no blue on the ECAM memos for our landing checklist. And we're flying visually, making sure we've got 2 red, 2 white, but we also want to make sure that we are staying on the glide slope as the diamonds show there for the localizer, the actual ILS approach. So if we were flying this in no cloud, then we would just be staring at the PFD, we wouldn't be looking out the window. It is a ILS approach, but I've noticed it because it's a handmade airport, or it's a add-on. For some reason, the ILS stuff doesn't quite work properly sometimes. It happens at a lot of airports, bizarrely. So we're tracking the VOR on Hamburg Airport anyway. We can see 2.7 nautical miles. So approaching minimums. So we're stable. Continue. Imagine if Vasoba was actually a good developer. But they've done good with the visual looks of the sim. Buffeting there. Inner marker. We could use reverse thrust, but the airport terminal building is right down there, so we'll just use, for now at least, actually we'll just roll. So Regis has asked for PC specs, so I've used the command there to get the specs for you. Hamburg traffic, easy 829ers, vacated at Delta 8, taxi distance. There's quite a few traffic, quite a few aircraft on the ground there. Let's just bring this to a slight stop so I can start to clear the aircraft a bit more.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched
Hamburg
off.
traffic, easy 829, crossing runway 33.
Devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used.
Strobes on.
Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not
last question, no problem at all.
a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew,
That's a good question. What would I like to see Asobo add into the sim? That's a tough question. Accurate aircraft, I think, probably be, it's quite a wide scope, I guess, but yeah, just accurate aircraft would be an absolute dream for us, wouldn't it? I'm not sure which way to go. Let's go this way. So we could do Bravo 6. I can't remember what stands you guys have said you're all at, but I'll be going to Terminal 1. This is the Just Sim scenery. I think it's a port from P3D, I think, off the top of my head. Hamburg traffic, easy 829, it's clear of runway 33. Should probably turn strobes off as well. That would help, wouldn't it? I would love to get a VR headset for for the sim. It'll probably be really good actually when we get VR support, DirectX 12. When we actually get multi-thread support in the sim, that'll make things a lot better for us. I can't remember what stands you guys said you were parked at. There's quite a lot of traffic on the ground though, there's a couple of aircraft. So one thing actually that I've just remembered, on the ground here at Hamburg, it's snowing actually. We've got blue zone, orange zone and stuff as well, which is really good. But also, interestingly enough, we've got lots of different stands. We'll park here. Where you can see that the stand is straight on, like the one that's just ahead of us. Those don't actually do anything for some reason. If we taxi to a stand where the air bridge is at an angle, they do something, so they actually move for us. We're on the blue line here, but not too much of an issue for us. We can park at, I guess, just normal 02. Yeah, non-mirrored 747 liveries is a very good one as well. So yeah, when I was reviewing the scenery here a little while ago on a video that you guys may or may not have seen. Yeah, thanks, I forgot. Getting carried away with looking at the scenery. Making all sorts of odd mistakes today. Yeah, I remembered that the angled jetties do something, the ones that aren't angled don't do anything. And I think actually I might have got this wrong as well again. We might have to do a bit of funky manoeuvre to that point there. So if the gate, as you can see here at Hamburg, you've got 2A, 2 and 2B, C. The B and C's don't work. So let's... but the A's and the 0 does, so let's go. Engine 2. Engine 1. Yeah, again, it's not recording the takeoff. That's really annoying. Didn't really configure post-landing for you guys. What is it doing? The weather's changing again.
Hamburg ground, landing 2575, taxi runway 05 via Golf Delta.
We need to open Pushback Express. And we should be able to trigger all of these. So air bridge, here it comes. So 2/2A works, it's a moving jetty. 2B, 2C doesn't, it's a static. So it's odd that the weather's just instantly changed. The time of day seems to have changed as well. And then in the Luke Air tool, show you guys, I can now click deplane. And ever so slowly, all the green seats, people, passengers will disappear. And it says deboarding the aircraft there as well. So, it's gone dark, hasn't it? So let's put some lighting on. Should probably turn the wing light off as well, to be fair. That's all good still. Let's configure for the return journey. So we've landed nicely, a couple of 100 foot per minute touchdown I would imagine, and it's reset, sensing our arrival, it's reset the aircraft. If you're new to Simbrief, go into AOC layer, you want to add your username into Simbrief, and you want ATSU, AOC, init press, data request, and our new call sign of EZ632 because we're flying to Manchester. What we need to do is come out of vPilot, so we want to disconnect and then reconnect. Yeah, Trey, but it's free. Although I've just noticed the swear word, so can't have that, I'm afraid. But yeah, like you're saying, it's a poor version of PAC-X, but it's completely free to use, so I'm always a fan of choosing free stuff over the costly things. What am I doing? I've forgotten. Just getting load and things ready. Perf and weight. Reload. Engine 2 de-ice is still on. Oh yeah, I thought I'd clicked it. How's this PAX sim thing going? We want to make sure Pushback Express as well. We can go. We can request baggage and catering. We can actually request a fuel truck as well, which is quite cool. So I can go ahead and I'm going to spawn that now and request it. It will probably be arriving in a couple of minutes. There's one of the guys on finals. So what have we got? 169 packs, and we want to request init data as well. Init request on the init 8 page. It's going to pull in our second route for today. Hamburg to Manchester with a diversion option of Birmingham. Aviation sim, yeah. The Luke Air tool is great because it's free and you get all of the announcements and everything. So even if you don't want to use their PAX sim thing that they've got, like I was showing you guys today, yeah, let's have a little look at this so we can try and change airline. We've got to change flight. It's not going to let us though. Whoops. Oh, it's minimised. That's cool. I think we have to come... You will lose 50% of your score. Other? Nope. So we can't actually get that done. I'm not sure how to stop it. We can reboard for the return. I'm just going to click board again. And it can start loading the aircraft for the return journey. I've definitely done it incorrectly though. oh well. Fuel prediction, landing there with loads of fuel on board, as we usually seem to do with Simbrief generated things. Cargo still being loaded. Block of 6.1 is so overweight really for what we need. Oh, well, our load's different, isn't it? So we need to work out our new calculator stuff. So our zero fuel weight, we've got to take our payload away from our fuel. So 64.7 tons minus our fuel on board, which is 6.12, and that gives us 58.58. That drop down tab as well is actually fairly accurate for payload, for the fuel and center of gravity, but it doesn't update payload yet for some reason. That was at 58.58, so 0.6 slash 29.77. But that's with fuel. It's 29.4 without. Block of 6.1 is in there, so that's updated those fuel figures. And our departure. Get Simbrief open again so I can actually figure out the route. I think we were saying we were going to depart on one of the runways in particular, but I can't remember which. Simbrief my flight plan. So for you guys in the chat, yep, David, there is an option. What it does is it updates the payload, so as you can see there, our gross weight's changed, but it doesn't update this section of the payload yet. So that's still in progress, but the fuel import from Simbrief does update this. Oh look, refueling. So we requested on the FS2 Cruise Pushback Express the fuel truck, and look who we've got. Eventually the fuel truck arrives, so that's quite cool. One of the guys there that's flown with us has landed. Good grief, Hamburg's full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go out to drone cam and check. Let's see how busy this is. Yeah, real busy. That's quite cool. Hopefully a controller will log on, and by the time that we've set up and turned around. Yeah, so the centre of gravity changes, the balance changes with the import from Simbrief, but unfortunately nothing else seems to just yet. That's real busy. Hopefully we can all push back at the same time. If all you guys are watching, then I'm gonna and tuning in and loading VATSIM, and that's gonna blow my mind. That's gonna be quite cool. So I'm gonna prepare for the return. EGBB 15 departure roughly. We'll do 340 for a cruise on the way back. I think, was it UC saying we were going to use runway 33, were we? Robert's good question. It's on sale at the moment, so I guess it depends what you want. It's got some nice details on it, so it does look pretty good, although only the gates with A on it actually have animations. The others are just sort of static and fixed, but it's quite nice. I did a little review video of it a little while ago. They've got the maintenance facility for Lufthansa Technik on the far side as well, so it's quite cool. I like it, and it's close enough to the actual airport from the UK as well for us to get some nice routes. And for German airports, it's got the red, orange and blue lines for pushback, which is really cool. Okay, UC's going off 3-3, so we'll go off 3-3 as well. Let me just check my pack sim. So on board 20, we're still at 19 to load. It's going off 3-3, so we'll set up for the same. WSN 3 Golf departure. And it's going to be runway 05, hopefully left Manchester. Where's that? Rosu 1 Foxtrot. I'm actually not going to bother with pack sim on the way home, I don't think. No vires, but it's going to force a vire in anyway, of course, because it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, so that's going to mess up our route on the way back. And we're going to check the RadNav page and stuff as we go as well. Max is off 3-3 as well. Yeah, Tan, it probably will, as they did yesterday, it probably will log on just as we're getting prepped. So, Echo, if you're still here, are you watching? Well, if you're still watching, let us know if you're joining us for the return. Or not, so we can work out those two guys as well joining us if we're going to be waiting for you guys. And yet 2 more aircraft landing. Hamburg is usually very busy, so it is very good on VATSIM. I guess you're showing as Lufthansa. You are Lufthansa showing as Eurowings. I guess it's part of the same group, I guess. Let's get rid of the jetty. So are we waiting for anybody else? So we've got Max, we've got Echo, we've got UC, all waiting, ready to go. Flightzilla's landing, but he's not joining us for the return. So I think that was everyone, wasn't it? Just fixing a few little bits. Okay, we're pretty much there, I think. If you're new to the channel and you're just joining us, do click subscribe down below, and you're always more than welcome whenever we're doing these streams. Especially if you want to get started on VATSIM, you're always more than welcome to log on in and join us for the journey as well. As a few of you guys have today. Always good. It's Flightzilla off in the distance there. So interestingly, the aircraft that's just took off, there's Eurowings down there too. The aircraft that's just took off hasn't actually announced any position reports. So it could have caused the guy on finals to go around. But he's just taken off, so he's cut it real fine. I think we're good to go. So let's get back into the flight deck. Seatbelt sign. Beacon. Check everything else is looking good. It is. I'm not going to bother with pack sim on the way out. On the way back rather. Let's make sure that's back on heading mode. We want to come off external power too. That's all the ground equipment clear. Thomas, good afternoon. Quick check of V-Pilot just to make sure we haven't got Hamburg Tower come online suddenly. We haven't. And what stand were we at? 3A? 2A? Hamburg traffic, easy 632's stand 02 Alpha, push and start, facing south.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Hamburg traffic, KZ 1846 on stand 06, pushing back and facing south.
Love the new volumetric lights.
Clear behind it. Start your engines at your discretion.
Let's get the engines on. Mix it up, we'll do engine 2 on the way back. Those guys flying in as well. Super busy. Love the new sounds from the A32NX team. All those guys pushing back as well. That's really cool. And he's there, so I'm going to just make sure we don't push back into him. Squad, hello. God, it's got really busy at Hamburg, hasn't it, for Unicom? Love VATSIM when it's like this. If there's a controller on it, it'd be even better.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
So, engine 1 start.
Parking brakes set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the left side with the pin.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to
Okay, yeah, I think it was just a distance thing, wasn't it?
Flight. See you later.
Let's watch engine 1 start. Love the sounds. Flight Zealy, yeah, you know what, it was really odd, wasn't it, because you were EasyJet in Southend, and here you've appeared as Eurowings, but... No, I've only had FSU IPC7 running because of PAX-SIM, Tom. Very good question, though. So, wing lights. Taxi lights. Hamburg traffic easy 632 is going to taxi in sequence number 3 to runway 33. Following the company traffic. Look how busy it is, guys. Woo-hoo. God grief, there's 4 of us flying back. That is a epic screenshot. So actually taxiing sequence number 4.
Hamburg traffic, easy 1846, taxiing to runway 33 for departure.
Makes it awesome, you guys tuning in as well, and flying with us at the same time. QNH 1013, yeah, via, yeah. Cheers. No, I've got 1019. So all taxiing off in sequence. That's madness, look at that.
Hamburg traffic, easy 1846, lining up runway 33 from Bravo 5.
So he's taking an intersection departure. He's got his lights and his strobes on there. That's cool, that's updated as well. It's turned into a group fright all of a sudden. Manchester controllers are going to have a fit when they see 4 aircraft coming towards them. It's going to be a good arrival, guys, so make sure you stay tuned, those of you watching. This is what makes Microsoft Flight Simulator and VATSIM so good. If you're watching this and you're wanting to get started on the network, make sure you check out our tutorials playlist on the channel. There's a VATSIM mini-series for you guys.
Have a safe flight, guys. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Cheers, sir. Likewise, have a good time.
Thank you.
So we're all going to take off in turn then. He's going for the intersection. I'm going to come left slightly so I can watch these guys depart. 05, yeah, I suppose is the active, but we're going to use this one, aren't we? So. You see, you've upset the Eurowings guy. Let's put that on. Take off config. Let's turn APU off. Hamburg traffic easy. 632 is holding at Bravo 4 at ready to depart in sequence number 4. And cabin check was the last one, wasn't it? Just as the sun's starting to set. So the Hamburg scenery is pretty good, as you guys can see. All the taxiways are very, very good, so it's super useful for VATSIM. Oh, there we go. We've got all the lighting just come up. I say this is making it look really special. It's on sale at the moment on Sim Market. But let them know if you do purchase it. Let them know that you've chose to purchase it through myself. Those lights are pretty awesome. There goes the Lufthansa. It was Eurowings for us, model matchings.
Hamburg traffic, Eurowings 760, lined up at runway 05, waiting for easy 55 Mike.
So I'll let the Eurowings guy ahead. Yeah, I can't remember who is who, to be honest. Hamburg traffic easy. 632 is lining up runway 33. I will hold position for the Eurowings on 05 to depart first. So that helps him out because he's taxied all the way to 05. And it also then gives us spacing as well, because you want a couple of minutes before... got all the lights on, haven't we? Good, good. We want a couple of minutes between each aircraft, otherwise when we get to Manchester we'll all end up in the hold. Actually, you know what would be really cool? If I can try and get... insert... oops, wrong button. Where's that Eurowings guy? Oh, he's taken off. I'm going to try and get a screenshot. Where is he? Ah, too much on the screen. That's a shame, look cool. And Hamburg traffic easy 632, departing runway 33 on a Whiskey Sierra November departure. Thrust set. Manchester's about to get hit with a whole lot of planes. We're going to check out the Manchester Airport scenery, of course. 0.6.4, very latest updates. Rotate. Grabbing into wind.
Too low, terrain.
Still got that horrible bug.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Yeah, Tan, about 2 minutes separation
Too low,
usually.
Terrain. Too low, terrain.
Oh, shush, shush. There we go. Into the climb gate. I'm going to make sure that's on. Got that S speed there for the flaps, so let's go flaps to 0, sorry, and disarm the spoilers. I'm just going to go and over. Oh, what happened there with the autopilot? Very violent pitch change. Stick the icing on because of the sim. And I'm going to just keep our speeds down. Do 220. Just so that the guys ahead can get a bit more of a, about 2 minutes separation built in. Change that on the fly. And off we go. Let's check out that fiery red. Look at all that fiery red sunset through the cloud, and we've got the wing lights, lighter sky with the strobes as well. It's really cool from the A32NX team. Odd, the second I've just gone onto Navigraph just to have a little look, it's killed my speed. It's saying that there's not enough video currently to, so you guys might get a little bit of buffering for the next minute or two. So I've cancelled Navigraph for the time being. It's looking good my side though. We'll continue our climb all the way up to 34,000 feet. And it's given us, we're not yet at cruise, we will get a time to go, we'll get an ETA once we get a little higher up. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream today. Look at that. Graphics on the sim are so good. There's the sun peering through the cloud. You see, and I don't think so. I think that's why I let him take off first, because I thought didn't want to aggravate him for no reason. So making a return back to Manchester Airport then. As I was saying, it's updated today to version 0.6.4 I think it is, and he's gone ahead and edited warehouses and a load of other cool stuff as well. So there's some lighting collars around the tower and stuff as well. So, what do we want? That one. Standard pressure over 10,000. That should have given us a couple of minutes for the guys ahead, so let's go ahead and get back into that climb. Look at that sun, that's absolutely incredible, isn't it? If you fancy Hamburg, we just saw there, looked pretty special, then I highly recommend getting the scenery while it's on sale. And we're actually working with so the guy that's created Manchester Airport, Macco Simulations. We've been working together to create a kneeboard. So when you guys hear me on my streams say, "Oh, I'm going to write down on my little piece of paper X, Y, and Z," creating a little printout document. But we were also talking today, saying it would be really good if we had a ability to call that data on a website, so you guys could literally click onto a page and use that page for your flight to get all the metadata and fill it out as if you would a kneeboard with your taxi instructions and all the other stuff as well. So stay tuned for that, because we're working actively on that at the moment, and it will probably be hosted on the Macco Simulations website itself. That is pretty awesome, isn't it? Little screenshot of that as well. So stay tuned, and once we get somewhere with that, I'll mention it all online as well. Probably actually do it on a stream. I'll show it all off to you guys so you can see what's been done. And there'll be a printable version as well. So if you didn't want to use the website, you could print out a piece of paper. Gives you the same stuff as well. So we're working on that, and hopefully you guys find it useful when it does get released. Go ahead and turn Pushback Express off. And there we go, we're on our way back to Manchester. Chasing the sunset as we go. So we'll probably land at Manchester at night time, checking out all the latest updates to their night lighting and stuff as well. And who have we got online? So we're picking up some tower frequencies already in Amsterdam, Copenhagen and so forth. Hopefully when we get closer we will see Manchester Tower approach, etc. on as well. When we get a bit closer I'll go through on Navigraph the charts and what our arrival should sort of look like. Doing 57210. David, perfect. That's going to be real good. Oh, London West, that's annoying. Hopefully we get it edited soon. Well, that's a real steep bank. Why are we turning so violently? Okay, to be fair, that looks doesn't look too bad on the wider view. Oh, there we go. Manchester approach. That's good enough for me. Getting quite high actually now, so let's calm the rate of descent down so we can relieve the engines, because we're inching them up to about 90% M1. That's too heavy. Ian, hello, welcome. Nice to see you tuning in again. Yeah, that's quite a long time, isn't it, David, for the controllers to be online. Ian, I hope you're well. Let's see, voice server. Yeah, if they've been on for a little while now, I don't expect them normally to stay online, because especially at Manchester, etc., it's quite full on for them. So 2.5 hours is normally long enough for a controller to stay online, really. If you're new to the channel, then do click the subscribe button down below, and if you've enjoyed today's stream as well, then do click like as well. Down below. We'll be looking to get some other streams done over the week, work permitting, of course. Got quite a busy work schedule. When I'm not streaming, then I'm usually working, so. Oh, Tan, that's a very good question. You know what, I would love to, providing of course that we have, providing at that point we have a decent looking long haul jet, then I probably would actually like to do, cross the pond. That'd be amazing actually, for a stream as well, that'd be pretty cool. But I'd like a decent looking, I'd want a decent slot, otherwise it'd be a little bit naff. Getting some like real late night flight where I'm having to stay up at like 2 in the morning to take off for the slot. David, yeah, lately VATSIM has been well ahead of live traffic, strangely enough. And yeah, Max, Manchester Airport's actually a VATSIM training base, so a lot of new controllers going through different phases of their VATSIM controller courses. They will be online at Manchester. Edinburgh's another one, as is, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think they use sometimes Birmingham, East Midlands and Bristol too. we're looking to do a stream later on in the week, maybe Thursday, possibly tomorrow as well. Let me know if there's anything in particular you guys want to see, and I'll try and get it worked out. If you're new to the channel, a very warm welcome on board. Do click subscribe and join us as a frequent flyer. You can find us on Discord as well. The bot every now and again puts a link on there. Yeah, you see, I think probably the across the pond later in the year. After, I think, when was the last one? September time, I believe. That would probably be the one that I would be looking to do. At least then we would have the Quality Wings 787, so I'd be really able to show that off at that point. Scottish Centre Online for those of you who want to use Edinburgh. That's great to start with if you're new to VATSIM, if you want to get started on the network. I'm hoping I'll be able to show you guys what I've done in partnership with Macco Simulations for a electronic kneeboard. So, yeah, David, thank you. I forgot off the top of my head the other ones, so yeah, cheers. Show off what we've been doing, work in progress, to try and get it all sorted. Max, yeah, Quality Wings are making a 787. That's going to be there for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, I think they did a package, didn't they? So they did a 787-8-9. They're going to be looking at doing the same sort of thing again. But they're going to be doing it for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hoping it's going to be really good. Actually, it should be very good. But we desperately need a decent long-haul aircraft in the sim, near enough study level. So. But I'll definitely be getting that for certain. And then I'm going to be, even short haul flights in that will be quite nice. So you could have a blend of A320neo from the fly-by-wire team, and also we could have the Quality Wings 787. So some little proving flights to and from Munich or Manchester or somewhere. See if that ice has melted. Probably not, no. Nice with the light bouncing off the engines though. And of course we'll have Birmingham Airport soon as well from Macco Simulations. Work in progress, very good work so far actually. Echo's asked if I could have any aircraft in Flight Sim in 2020, what would it be? The A350, most definitely. Stunning aircraft, works really well. Future-proofed as well, so high-tech. And looks fantastic. But I would want the 1000 series. I'd want the Dash 1000. So with the BA colours as well, I'd want all of that. So a little check on V-Pilot. Still a little bit far out for Manchester ATC, but hopefully they stay online. If we get approach controllers on, that would be quite good, because then we're going to have we'll have proper coverage as we make our way in. Should we be turning left at this point? Oh, yes. Or PMDG 777 would be nice, actually. 777's a great workhorse, long-haul aircraft. I'd love a Boeing 757. That would be good. Slightly more old school, I think. On that as well, you have to calculate the Mach number yourself manually. I don't think there's a way to do it automatically. I can't remember though. I've not looked at one in many years, but classic Boeing. That's how I'd probably describe a Boeing 757. But it would have to be the 200 series. Not too bothered about the 300. What would you guys want as if you could? So I'll turn the question from Echo around to you guys. If you could have any aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, what would you want and why? Let me know in the live chat. It'll be interesting to see if we all say the same thing as well. Probably put that back on managed, but I'll leave it like that because managed doesn't tend to work too well yet. When we get VNAV, it'll be amazing. Well, 747-400 would be special. I tried the Canadian mods version a long time ago, and it was just rubbish. The beacon light was offset somewhere random, and the animations and everything were too poor quality, and it ruins when you've got a simulator like Microsoft Flight Simulator that's really high quality on everything, graphics-wise, including the aircraft, and then you port something from FSX and you don't even improve the graphics quality to go with it. I don't see the point, personally. Sounds terrible to say, but I don't get it. I would love a 747-400. Oops, somebody's getting shouted at by the supervisors. Yeah, to be fair, you could do anything on a 777, couldn't you? You could do all like Caribbean hops. Yeah, I'm just checking out the pictures on Discord. There's some good screenshots. I'm going to stick mine on there as well, actually. Where have they gone? That's cool. I love how this has turned into a mini group flight. A350 for a long haul, Tan would like that. Singapore to JFK, yeah, that would be good. I'd love to do, I mean it's a really long journey, it's 13 hours, but I would love to be able to do something along the lines of Heathrow to Tokyo Haneda, or something like that. That would be really special. Just for memory serves purposes, really. Turks, well done for completing your very first VATSIM flight, just reading it on Discord. I'd love to be able to just do some JFK to Heathrow and back in a long-haul aircraft. Do that sort of classic Speedbird one route sort of style of flight. But I'd like to do some flights to Chicago long-haul as well, Boston. I'd love to do sort of Caribbean routes as well, so Gatwick in a 777 BA, for example, Gatwick to Barbados, something like that. That'd be quite nice. We've ended up with some fantastic weather, haven't we, guys, for this little stream today, for this trip. Starting to pick up UK controllers as well. And there is a supervisor sat online listening to everybody as an observer. MF supervisor. Don't know who that is. I wonder if it's Dot Wallop. Heathrow have got approach on. we've got Gatwick Tower, Heathrow Tower, East Midlands Tower, Amsterdam Tower, Gatwick Ground, Brussels and Gatwick Clearance Delivery as well are online, and Scottish Centre. So VATSIM's starting to come alive as it usually does in the evenings. Yeah, Echo, yeah, Gatwick to Miami would be fantastic actually. Max, that's a very good question. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to absolutely destroy the other simulators. In time, of course. It might take a year or two, well, it might take 2 to 3 years, in fairness, for the sim to get there, but when you look at the current X-Plane and the graphics on that, they just absolutely do not compete. So once Microsoft Flight Simulator get their head out, and once they pull their finger out and they sort out some great payware aircraft, and the A32NX is, once that's at version 1.0, they will then start building an A321 as well as the A380. Then this sim is going to absolutely destroy the other simulators. I mean, I'm quite happy to persevere with it. So personally, for me, I will stick with Microsoft Flight Simulator even when we get problems, because I don't want to go out and buy X-Plane for the sake of having a sim for another 6 months, because I'll want to buy everything to go with it as well to make it look as good. Ian, good afternoon. Red Ian, good afternoon. Robert, hello. Embraer ERJ 175, but he'd be happy with the CRJ from Aerosoft, which of course has been delayed. Polcat, hello again. I'm very well, yourself? Well, I'm very well, thank you. How about yourself? Thank you for your donation the other day as well. It's really appreciated. Now we've got an automated bot as well, so Super Chat and the Streamlabs donation link that was on the live chat a second ago, they will both trigger, for you guys tuning in and watching, if you want to support the stream, they will both trigger a readout on the stream automatically, and a banner as well will appear on the screen too. Quite cool new features that we've unlocked recently. Yeah, Max, definitely. All it needs is some great payware aircraft. It's the only thing really for this sim. Polecat, yeah, terrible icing. Microsoft Flight Simulator's biggest issue, I think, well, one of the biggest issues is all the icing. Of course we wouldn't have icing at this altitude, but Microsoft Flight Simulator thinks we should do. It all happened when we flew through cloud earlier. Oh, how many miles till that turn? We'll get that on a window view, shall we? 15 miles, so about 10 miles till we turn. I love how 3 of you guys have tuned in to fly with us, 3 or 4 of you guys have tuned in and you're flying with us as well. That's awesome, I love that. Polka, yeah, it was a little while ago, wasn't it? But yeah, I do remember. Ian, yeah, I can. It says ice not detected, but you can see there we've got a whole lot of ice on the aircraft. So I'm trying to. I don't want to, because of the way the sim is designed. It could be a bit of a mess sometimes with icing. So whenever I see icing on the aircraft, I will just leave. I'll leave icing switched on for the duration of the flight. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes to try and judge the icing on the system. Annoyingly, I've actually turned the settings for icing off, so the setting for visible icing I've turned to 0, yet it still gives it me, and it still acts badly for the flight physics as well, which it of course would do in real life, but it wouldn't be as severe as it is in the sim. So I've turned that off as well, but it still doesn't do anything. Firedog, hello, I hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in. We're flying live on VATSIM, yep, and we've got 3 aircraft who departed from Hamburg ahead of us at the same time, flying back with me to Manchester. There's a couple of the guys watching on the stream as well, who decided to fly back with us. And when we get closer to Manchester as well, I think, unless they've gone offline, we've got tower frequencies and approach and things on. So we go, we've got Manchester ATIS, Manchester Ground is online, and Manchester Approach. So we've got full ATC once we get closer to Manchester. Christopher would like the Venom 300E. Whoa. Polcat, I am from the UK, yes. Which city? I'm basically near Heathrow Airport, so Greater London, I suppose you could say. That's where I'm based. Let's have a look at this Manchester ATIS then. So we've got information uniform. So we'll be crossing the English Channel shortly. Runway in use 05 left, which is good because we've planned for that. Transition level, flight level 60. Surface wind is 040 degrees at 10 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more with scattered cloud at 2,000 feet. Scattered cloud at 3,200 feet. Temperature plus 3 degrees Celsius. And the dew point 0 degrees. QNH 1024. QFE of 1015. Acknowledge receipt of information uniform and advise aircraft type on first contact with ATC. So, let's see, Manchester radar will be who we'll contact next. 118575, so we can go ahead and sort of get that ready. And we'll go and put the ATIS information into the MCDU as well. Now would be a good time, so we aren't rushing to do it during descent. So we had the QNH 1024. Temperature plus 3 degrees, wind 040 at 10. So a very small crosswind component for landing. And then we'll need a DH from the actual arrival. So we're near Ravlo actually, so I should probably reopen Navigraph and refresh that. I was having issues with that, I was stealing all the bandwidth earlier, so Tom's not far behind as well. So there's 5 of us flying back to Manchester. That's awesome. We're halfway now. Love that you guys are flying with us, that's awesome. Rosen 1 Foxtrot arrival via Opbed. We want to be at flight level 290 by Opbed, which is where? There, 120 miles away. And then flight level 170 by Gollis, which is 44 miles after. So we'll target flight level 170. When we get nearer to Supel, I'll probably call it Manchester Approach. And then we'll then prep for Manchester Ground as well, who are online. Yes, Polcat, yeah, Stevenage, nice part of the world. It's actually making some really good progress on the way back. Slight crosswind, but it's a ever so slight tailwind component as well, just drifting us along ever so slightly. I'm wondering how far ahead all of the other guys are as well, so I'm going to have a little look on VATSIM, a little Android app on my phone. There's a lot of aircraft making a crossing at the moment, which is quite cool. So we've got, how many aircraft? So we've got UC at the front leading the pack back to Manchester. Reese number 2, Lufthansa. We've got Harrison number 3, a couple of miles behind, and then myself a couple of miles behind as well. And then Tom just slightly north of us, slightly behind. So literally all 5 of us will all be flying in, one after the next. So this is going to be awesome. Manchester actually looks really busy as well on the ground. So lots of ATC to be listening to as we get closer, guys. If you're just tuning in and you want to get started on VATSIM, check the playlists on the channel. I've got a dedicated tutorial series just for helping get started on VATSIM, and some PDF files for free as well that you can check. And feel free to listen as we go. Redian's asking how do we get MDA or DH. We'll check the charts, we'll go through that in a second actually, so good question. And Firedog, we are on the dev side of the A32NX, yes, although we are one stage ahead of the dev because because we're a QA tester, so we're testing a load of stuff like constraints and things at the moment. A little early, but I'm just going to start a little descent. Tracks, yeah, we don't, but the sim has given us loads of ice all over the airframe, so because I don't trust it, I'll just leave icing on. So that's why icing's still on the aircraft. So Navigraph, guys, we'll go through the charts and have a little look so you can see what we'll be doing in a second. And yeah, we might need to get our hold charts ready. There's a couple of holds here actually, so you can see at the bottom of your screen, op-ed. That's what we're flying into first. And then we're flying 44 miles up to Golas, or Goals. And we have to be at, you see there, Rosen 1 Foxtrot. We have to be at flight level 170 by Goals, or Goles. Not sure how to pronounce that one. Then continuing, heading at 284 degrees to Pol Hill, VOR 112.1. And if it's really busy, we might be asked to enter the hold at Rosen, which is that waypoint there, which is actually the star that we're using. That's the last waypoint. We'll be flying that orbit. And it's all linked to, as you guys can see there, the Manchester VOR 113.55. So Rosen is on a radial of 352 degrees from the Manchester VOR station. We've also got Burnley and we've got Pol Hill as well to help us. So 2 VOR stations for us to look at on the way in and to tune into. And the lowest point at Rosen is at 7,000. You can see there a max speed of 230 knots as well. There's the Trent VOR for people coming in via the south. And RAF Scampton there as well, the home of the Red Arrows. So we know from ATIS we're going to expect runway 05 left arrivals. And there's our approach plates. At the top it gives us all our data, including the frequencies, our final approach course, and our decision heights. So we've got an MDA of 1,540. Actually that's not an MDA, sorry, that's our glide slope. Our decision height for Clap 3A ILS there of 50 feet. We've got our airport elevation there. And we've also got missed approach go around information there. Climb straight ahead to 3,500 then as directed. There are 2 warnings in place. Rad out fluctuations may occur due to the Bolin Valley, and the ILS DME reads 0 at runway 5 left threshold. There's a teardrop manoeuvre there. If we get vectored in via the 11 DME, we have to turn back on ourselves. And that's what our glide path profile is going to look like. From 10 miles, 3,000 foot, with a 3-degree glide slope down to the runway. Now at the very bottom we've got different missed approach altitudes. So we've got Cat 3A ILS, which ordinarily the aircraft would be using, we would be using for this. Let's commit down to a bit more of a descent. But the sim sometimes does its own thing, so what I tend to do is use the Cat 1 ILS in the current state for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we can set the DH of 200, which is the figure in the brackets, and that's the altitude linked to our rad out. And if we were going to use MDA, we would use the 412. We used the DH on the way out, so what I'll do this time on the way in, I'll use MDA 412. And we'll get the 100 above call out, but we won't get the minimums call out. So there's a slight difference between the two. We need to check the ILS frequencies and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And Polecat, yep, we're online, we're on VATSIM. Firedog, yeah, very good point. Yeah, they are moving out of RF Scampton, aren't they? So let's put the MDA in. What did you say it was? 412 feet into the scratch pad, and I'm going to enter that there. And then we want to check the RadNav page for the ILS frequency, which is 109.5. That's what we've got. And we want the Manchester VOR 113.55. I'll put that into VOR 2. And for the Brosen 1 Foxtrot arrival, I'm going to actually put the Pole Hill VOR into the other one as well. So 112.1. If we have to go around, we might have to go to Pole Hill, for example. And we're pretty much ready to go actually for our descent. Let's tune to Manchester's frequency and have a little listen. Manchester approach. As we get closer, we might hear a bit better. Oh, Manchester approach just left. We might hear a bit better. Oh, Manchester approach just left. That's super disappointing when it does that. He's obviously looked at 4 of us coming in and just thought, no, I can't be bothered. But that's when it gets the best. That's when VATSIM is the best. Hopefully another will come online in the next few minutes. I'll have to just monitor ATIS for the time being, just to see V-Pilot, just to see what's happening. Yeah, David, yeah, I think Scampton is... Red Arrows are definitely moving out of there. Manchester Ground is online, 121.85. So at least we'll get taxi to the gates. So the charts, interestingly, as you guys would have seen a minute ago when we were looking at Navigraph, the charts actually show that everything relates to a transition over the Manchester Airport VOR. So the charts read as though every arrival flies over the airfield and then gets vectored back to the ILS from there. In reality, of course, that doesn't really happen. Ordinarily, we would be getting vectored from our Pole Hill start arrival. Firedog, yeah, there's a long waiting list actually. I've been on the waiting list since September to get my controller training started. So I can do a load of flying, but then every now and again just do a little stream on a control on the tower somewhere, or on a ground controller. 120 minutes to miles to Golis. Of course, as well, we want to make sure we've got all our VORs ready. So Pole Hill, which we can just see at the top there, that plus. Just after that is Rosen, that's where we might have to enter our hold. We've also got a waypoint called Burney ahead, so we'll be using those waypoints there if we do have to enter any sort of hold, though I'm not anticipating it. And we will self-vector ourselves on the way in as well. So from Pole Hill we'll probably fly up towards Liverpool and then round to meet the ILS, which is ordinarily what would happen, not usually. You'd get vectored by the controller to establish on the ILS. Yep, Tom, that's the one, flight level 290 by Opbed. I descended a little early, to be fair. And you see, yep, we'll do our own vectors from the last waypoint at the start of the ILS. So I guess if we all announce the same waypoints on Unicom voice chat, then we can just follow the same coordinates, the same headings for each of us, basically, so we can manage ourselves effectively. I keep staring at VPilot, hoping we get a controller come online. Scotland is absolutely lit up. Yeah, as Tom's saying, we've got Manchester Airport's Macco Simulations latest updates to check out as well when we get there. It looks really good. Creeping ever closer, of course, to version 1. You see, we've tried to do it high speed. Including the landing, right? No flaps. Ah, Polecat, I don't understand Russian. I know the last word, I think, is Russia, isn't it? Edinburgh's got everybody online now. They've got Edinburgh Approach, Edinburgh Tower, Edinburgh Ground, Scottish Centre. They've got the full works. Quick refresh of the ATIS information. We're now at information Victor. Still 07, wind surface wind 040, so that's all the same as well. And 1024 is still correct. UC's just passing up there, so 50 miles ahead. That's Speedbird 752 on the way into Newcastle. So you can see here what the what Microsoft Flight Simulator tells you to do. Let me clear constraints. From Burnley and Rowson, it then bugs out a little bit, and all of a sudden it takes you straight into overfly the airport before flying back out to make your approach, which in real life just doesn't happen. Yeah, Firedog, there must be an event then going on in Edinburgh. There was the other day. Edinburgh's great to fly out of, especially if you're new on VATSIM. Polka, I think you're the only person actually from Russia that's online currently. Goles in 80, and we want to be at, is it flight level 170 by Goles, so we can actually start a nice descent now. We'll do just a nice smooth 800 foot per minute, super efficient. Of course, if we had a controller online, London radar or anything like that, then we would be we'd be given proper descent vectors and things. So it's on Unicom, we have to just manage ourselves and make whatever reasonable decision we want to make. Polkat, St. Petersburg to Pulkovo. Could do, yeah. I could add that to the list, something new. I could try and do that on VATSIM as well. Hopefully Navigraph has the charts. Right, I definitely want to do more of Tokyo and Japan. So they're on the list. Once we touch this cloud, we'll have icing, so that ice not detected will probably disappear on the ECAM memos, because the sim thinks that cloud equals ice. Playing catch up there. For some reason, YouTube just briefly disconnected me, but we are back. Sunset's amazing. It's interesting. Normally my streams are pretty good, but Navigraph tends to absolutely kill my bandwidth lately. So every now and again it will just really throw up a problem for me. And today it's choosing to be to misbehave on my stream. Polka, nice, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. Right, I know we have Chart Fox, which is a free stream, it's pretty good. Gaz, yeah, he's pretty good. He's a QA tester as well, actually, so he's recently joined the QA team for the fly-by-wire project. So Opbed was 290. We're descending below that anyway, just to focus on getting down to Gollers at flight level 170. We've still got Manchester ground online, but no centres or anything like that for us. Unfortunately, they've all disappeared off, and Manchester radar's gone off as well. A little frustrating. He's got 5 aircraft flying towards him, so I would have hoped he would have stayed on for us. Gaz, go to work. Yeah, Polecat, I'm sure you're probably correct actually. I've not checked, but Navigraph seems to be pretty good. Everything for Navigraph has actually been very good, except for the nav data that actually broke my sim, so I ended up having issues with SIDS and stars actually not being in the sim at all, and that was down to the Navigraph data not doing it correctly. So once I'd sorted that out, we were good. So I've actually removed the Navigraph data completely from the sim. I'm actually going to use Navigraph on my phone actually, I think, in absence of seeing as it's absorbing bandwidth needlessly today. And I'll do it the old school way of not actually checking where my flights are. So, Rosen 1 Foxtrot arrival into Manchester. And then we'll self-vector ourselves into 5 left. Guys, you've got to admit the sim does look pretty realistic. Slight right turn now at Otbed to Gollers, and now we're entering the star, that Rosen 1 Foxtrot star for our arrival route into Manchester. So, second sector of the day, out from Southend, which is quite nice, freeway scenery, into Hamburg, which is amazing, and then into Manchester. Tom, I'm passing Otbed right now. Polecat, no, a little while ago I used to fly some light aircraft, and I did some flying instruction as well, so I was teaching a few people how to fly, but certainly not an airline pilot or anything like that, and I haven't got an airline's, I haven't got a pilot's license currently. It all got a little bit too unaffordable for me, unfortunately. Let's increase that rate of descent now. Let's do 1,500 foot per minute. Let's see. I think we want to be at 7,000 by Rosen, I believe, which is the lowest holding point as well. So we'll target 40 miles to Gollers. So this is working out quite nicely with all you guys flying around me as well. It's, thanks for all tuning in and watching and flying as well. It's always enjoyable flying with everyone else on the network. Unicom is very busy. We've still got Manchester ground, but annoyingly everyone else is tuned off, which is a little disappointing. It's a shame we couldn't request any controllers or anything on. So I think overhead Newcastle, there's one of the guys that's UC ahead actually. You can see that where the cursor is, there's ever so slight strobes and things dead ahead of us. So there's actually going to be quite a lot of us landing at the same time, or one after the next. Yeah, I am. New boy, thank you. I can turn it back on again. I was trying to find out what was actually causing me issues with EDDH2 EGCC. I was trying to find out what was causing me issues with bandwidth. It turns out yet again it was Navigraph, but I actually minimised. There we go. I minimised the. Minimise the overlay settings and stuff as well to kill all of that. But yeah, Ian, exactly. There'd be enough of us that would be keen to do it, wouldn't there? Yeah, they've just gone ahead and... I mean, whether they make it intentionally difficult or not, I'm not sure, but it does get a little frustrating. There we go. I mean, for example, you guys could all be flying in on a group flight into an airport like Manchester, and I could be on ground or tower. Ready to let you guys in. Down below, not sure what town that is, but again, like Microsoft Flight Simulator looks incredible again. RAF Scampton down there potentially, might be not. Wesley, yeah, hopefully they get it fixed. I know it is in progress. Let's continue our descent down to 7. At Goles, I will reduce my speed, guys, for those of you flying with us. I'm just going to sort this drone cam out. Oh, good. One 2185, lovely.
Easy 4710, ready taxi. I think was having some comms issues.
575 for the approach.
Easy 47 Tango, stand by for Lufthansa. Manchester radar, good afternoon. Squawk 3545. Expect vector
we're in, guys.
Runway 05 right.
Oh, they're changing the runways.
Squawk 3545 and expecting vector for runway 05 right to easy 1846.
Manchester radar, good evening, easy 632 inbound Goles on a Rosen 1 Foxtrot arrival, flight level 150 descending to 7000.
Two stations at once, EGCC 991, Manchester radar, hello, squawk 6656, expect vectors ILS 05 right.
Alright, squawk 6656, expecting vectors at approach 05 right, EGCC 991.
And the other station calling EG632 Manchester radar,
EGCC 99155. Flight level 100, descending 05 left via MERS 2 Bravo.
Blocked.
632 squawk 3567.
Squawk 3567, easy 632.
EGCC 9955 Manchester radar, good afternoon. Descend flight level 80 and leave Mersey heading 180 degrees.
Guys, I'm going to get rid of the overlay because that seems to be causing the problem
Mersey
in
heading
the stream.
1 please, flight level 080, EGCC 99955.
Easy 1846, turn left heading 210 degrees, descent flight level 80, speed 250 knots.
Turn left heading 210 degrees, descend 8000, flight level 80 and speed 250, easy 1846.
Easy 55 Mike Manchester radar, good afternoon, expect vectors ILS 05 right, squawk 3544. EGCC 9955, speed 250 knots, descend flight to level 60.
250 and flight level 060 Egypt Air 99955.
Egypt Air 991, descend flight level 100, speed 220 knots.
Level 100, 220 knots, 991.
Easy 632, stop descent, flight level 100, speed 250 knots or less.
Stop descent, flight level 100 and speed, say again please, the speed's easy 632.
Easy 632, speed 250 knots or less.
Thank you, speed 250 or less and stop descent, flight level 10, easy 632.
Easy 55, Mike descend, flight level 100, speed 250 knots.
You caught me off guard then, because I'm trying to fix some problems with the stream.
Easy 1846, speed 220 knots, descend flight level 70.
Speed 220 knots and descend flight
Sounds
level
like potentially we're going to have to enter the hold.
1846.
Lufthansa 498 Manchester radar.
Which is going to kill me.
Copy you.
Lufthansa 498 Manchester radar, hello, squawk 3562.
Manchester radar, can you please repeat squawk? 498.
498 squawk 3562.
3562. 498.
Egypt Air 991, descend flight level 90.
Sending 90991.
Egypt Air 995.
It's actually YouTube that's playing up bizarrely. Not receiving the stream because my upload is more than enough for what we require today. But it seems to be the YouTube ingest server that you feed your live stream into is playing up.
Easy 1846, turn right heading 230 degrees, speed 220 knots.
Turn right heading 230 degrees and speed 220 knots. Easy 1846.
Egypt Air, correction, Lufthansa 498, leave Rosen heading 210 degrees.
Heading 210 degrees, Lufthansa 498.
Egypt Air 991, leave Rosen heading 135.
Confirm, leave Rosen 1 heading 185.
Sorry, Egypt Air 991, leave Mersey heading 135.
Leaving Mersey 135 and that one.
Yeah, Wesley, correct. They do frequently give us...
Lufthansa 498, descend flight level 70, speed 220 knots.
They frequently give us information actually for all of that.
220 knots.
So when we land, they'll tell us where to go.
Easy 55, Mike, descend flight level 70.
Hopefully we don't get too much of a delay, but it sounds like we might end up entering the hold if we're not vectored, but look at the graphics, guys, it looks absolutely stunning out there.
Egypt Air 9955, turn left heading 165.
Left heading 165, 99955.
Easy 1846, turn left heading 190 degrees.
Turn left heading 190 degrees, easy 1846.
Egypt Air 991, turn right heading 220 degrees.
Right, 220, 991.
Easy 1846, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, Manchester QNH 1024.
Descend 5,000 feet in QNH 1024, easy 1846.
Egypt Air 9955, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet, Egypt Air 9955.
And Egypt Air 9955, reduce speed to 220 knots.
220 knots, 99955.
Lufthansa 498, turn right heading 220 degrees.
Turn right heading 220 degrees, Lufthansa 498.
Egypt Air 991, descend flight level 60.
60, Egypt Air 991.
Easy 1846, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descent 4,000 feet, Easy 1846.
Egypt Air 9955, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, speed 180 knots or greater.
180 knots or greater and 6,000 feet minus 955.
Easy 55 Mike, leave Rosen heading 220 degrees.
Okay, I've moved the stream onto a backup server with YouTube. Hopefully that may have fixed it. Might not have done.
That's 8355 Manchester radar. Hello, taxi holding point Alpha 1.
I'm sending the. I'm actually sending the data to YouTube at 40 megasecond upload. So 18 megasecond upload. Sorry. So it's more than enough to handle 1080p for stream like it usually does. I've checked.
9955, turn left heading 0.
I've checked my
cleared ILS approach runway 05
speeds,
right.
etc. And connection-wise, my side is great. Connection your side is great. It's just not feeding into YouTube server properly, bizarrely. YouTube went down a few weeks ago as well.
05 right.
So I wonder if it's
1846, turn right heading
a similar issue.
145, speed 180 knots.
But it is on a backup server at the moment.
1846, turn left heading 145, speed 180 knots.
It's still showing me a weak connection to YouTube.
145 and speed 180 knots, Easy 1846.
Egypt Air 991, turn left heading 140 degrees, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, Manchester QNH 1024.
140 degrees, 5,000 feet, 1024, Egypt Air 991.
Easy 1846, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000 feet, Easy 1846.
Lufthansa 498, speed 180 knots, descend flight level 60.
180 knots and the 60 for Lufthansa 498.
Egypt Air 991, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, speed 180 knots.
Yeah, Ian, the graphics are insanely good, aren't they?
Speedbird 467, I'm unable to offer you a 05 right departure. It's going to be approximately a 15-minute delay for that if you want to hold, or I can return you for 05 left.
There's a hold. He hasn't told me my clearance for the arrival either.
1846, turn left heading 080 degrees, cleared ILS approach runway 05 right.
Turn left heading 080 degrees and cleared for ILS 05 right. Easy 1846.
Egypt Air 9955, roger, speed 160 knots until 4 DME.
05 right, isn't it? So probably going to check.
And Egypt Air 9955, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, goodbye.
Oh, Manchester Tower's online, 118.625.
Egypt Air 18, correction, easy 1846, speed 180 knots until 6 DME.
What's that for easy 1846?
A firm, speed 180 knots until 6 DME.
I've tried to slow down a lot intentionally here because
4 DME. Easy 1864.
I wanted to create a gap. There's an aircraft
Negative,
up there.
speed 180 knots until 6 DME.
So I tried to give us a good couple of minutes.
6 DME. Easy 1846.
Egypt Air 991, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
3,000 feet, Egypt Air 991.
Lufthansa 498, turn left heading 140 degrees, descend altitude 4,000
Oh, Ian, that's disappointing. So we're having a great stream, so YouTube's actually really struggling. So the stream is healthy
Descend out to 4,000, can you please repeat
on my side and on your side, but
Lufthansa 498,
it sounds like YouTube's about to go down again.
120 degrees.
That's really annoying. Hopefully it stabilises.
632, descend flight level 80, redirect Rosen, leave Rosen heading 220 degrees.
Descend 8,000 and direct Rosen, leave Rosen 220 degrees, easy 632.
And Speedbird 467, contact Manchester Tower 118.625.
So, turning. We're getting there though, it seems
991, turn left heading 080 degrees, cleared ILS approach runway 05 right.
That's really annoying. It's wiped. It's wiped my entire destination.
Lufthansa 498, speed 180 knots.
What's happened there?
Speed 180 knots, Lufthansa 498.
Easy 1846, contact Manchester Tower, 118.625.
That's my idea of hell.
118.
So I've done a direct 2 and all of a sudden it's wiped.
Lufthansa 498, turn left heading 100 degrees.
100 degrees.
It's wiped my
498.
waypoints. Leave Rosen 220 degrees, wasn't it?
And Lufthansa 8355, contact Manchester Tower, 118.625. And Easy 47 Tango if you're on frequency Manchester Tower now, 118.625. Easy 55 Mike, speed 220 knots, descent flight level 60. EGT 991, speed 180 knots until 60 ME.
180 ME, EGT 991.
And EGT 991, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, goodbye.
Goodbye, 118.625, thanks, EGT 991.
Easy 632, A firm, it was Lee Roslin heading 220 degrees and descent now, flight level 70.
Thank you, descend now, flight level 70 and leave Rossum 220 degrees, easy 632.
Lufthansa 498, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend down to 3,000 feet, Lufthansa 498.
Ready and fingers crossed, sir. Keeps really playing up today.
Manchester approach, good evening. Ryanair 119 at flight level 160.
Stand by. Lufthansa 498, turn left heading 080 degrees, cleared ILS approach runway 05 right.
080 degrees and clear for the ILS for 05 right, Lufthansa 498.
Easy 55 Mike, turn left heading 180 degrees.
Manchester approach, good evening. Lufthansa A355, proceeding as clear.
Lufthansa 8355, Manchester radar, hello, squawk 2206, maintain altitude 5,000 feet.
Maintain 5,000 feet and storage squawk 2206.
Ryanair 119, Manchester radar, good afternoon, descent flight level 80, expect vectors ILS runway 05 right.
Descending 8,000 and ILS 05 right.
Just gonna hit that.
Manchester radar, good afternoon, Golf Bravo Alpha.
That should feed us in.
Golf Victor Bravo, Manchester radar, hello. Unfortunately, I don't cover Liverpool. I'm a little bit busy at the moment. Can you respond to unit complete? Lufthansa 8355, climb now, flight level 90.
Continue climb 90, Lufthansa 8355.
Speed restriction, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1024.
Yeah, I've got the ILS in.
At easy 632, turn left heading 200 degrees.
Turn left 200 degrees, easy 632.
Ryanair 119, speed 250.
I just realised I didn't change heading, did I? I was getting too warped up with all the problems with the stream itself.
To the 220.
It's super busy down there, you can see all the flashing lights.
Ryanair 119.
And Ryanair 119, just to check that heading is after Roslin, so leave Roslin on heading 220 degrees.
Yeah, we got the ILS in, we had the ILS for 02 left.
Lufthansa 498, we're established on the ILS.
Lufthansa 498, thanks, speed 160 knots until 40 ME.
160 knots until 40 ME, Lufthansa 498.
And Lufthansa 498, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, goodbye.
118.625 from Manchester Tower, Lufthansa 498.
EC35 Golf Hotel.
Yeah, bizarrely I did direct to the Rosen waypoint and then instantly it just cleared my entire thing, so we're okay, we're getting there. Loads of aircraft flying in, you can see all the
Easy 55 Mike, turn left heading 150 degrees.
One of the guys is holding behind us. Is that Tom, I think, might have been entering the hole behind. But it's okay, we've got all this on. We're in vectors anyway, so I wasn't too worried.
Lufthansa 8355, climb flight level 120.
Could you repeat, please?
Lufthansa 8355, climb flight level 120.
Continue 120, Lufthansa 8355.
So we're getting there.
55 Mike, turn left heading 080 degrees, cleared ILS approach runway 05 right. Right, correction, that's left 080 degrees, cleared ILS runway 05 right.
Got some great views over Manchester on the way in. There's Tom behind in EasyJet,
radar, thanks for your
entering the hold at Rosen.
Now flight level 150.
There's a load of other aircraft over there flashing away.
Easy 632, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, Manchester QNH 1024.
5,000 feet, QNH 1024, Easy 632.
And Easy 632, there's no ATC speed restriction now.
Roger, thank you. Easy 632. Free speed. That normally means help me out. Although the auto thrusters overshoot.
35 Golf Hotel, descent flight level 100.
I think YouTube's sorting itself out now, guys, so we should be good. We were, at one point we were about 2 minutes, 3 minutes delay, and then it kept snapping, so I don't know what YouTube was doing, but at least we're still online. It's all good for now. Thank you all for bearing with us. It wasn't on my end, as you guys knew. It wasn't on your end either. It seems to be YouTube struggling again today.
Ryanair 119.
Although now I've said that,
70.
it's come up to say that the YouTube server's struggling again. So, auto brake low, speed brake arm.
Radar easy 35 Golf Hotel radio check.
Lufthansa 8355, monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8, goodbye.
Reaching 122 decimal 8, thank you, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Easy 632, turn left heading 180 degrees.
Turn left 180 degrees, Easy 632.
247 on the list of departure climb flight level 50.
Speedbird 467 Manchester radar, hello, squawk mode Charlie.
Just getting the new it's ILS 05 right, so I need to get the new.
Easy 35 Golf Hotel, turn right, long way round, all the way, heading 150 degrees.
ILS 386 decision height.
Speedbird 467, report your passing altitude.
So, different runway, so we've got to change that, of course. Yeah, you know what, our stream is literally miles behind.
Speedbird 467, thanks, climb now, flight level 190.
Climbing flight level 190, thank you. Speedbird 467.
Easy 55 Mike, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, goodbye. Easy 632, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descend 4,000 feet, Easy 632.
Easy 47 Tango, climb flight level 190.
All the lights are on, see what signs. You guys are literally 2 minutes behind.
Hotel, continue that right turn heading 210 degrees, descend flight level 80.
Yeah, the direct twos, it does happen every now and again. It's a known bug, isn't it? But it's a real frustrating bug in the sim. Speed brake because for some reason we are.
Easy 632, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
3,000 feet, Easy 632. So the missed approach for this one is we've got to turn right immediately, heading 186 degrees.
Ryanair 119, turn left heading 190 degrees, descend to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1024.
Turning left 190, descending 5,000, QNH 1024, Ryanair 119.
Turning left in a second.
Easy 47 Tango, monitor Unicom 122.8.
Prep the ILS.
Unicom 1228, see you later.
Yeah. Easy 632, turn left heading 070 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 05 right.
Turn left 0 degrees, cleared ILS 05 right, easy 632.
Right, easy 35 Golf Hotel, ready to check.
Easy 35
There's the
Golf
Macco
Hotel,
Simulations Manchester
finally,
Airport off in the distance.
Alright.
First time I've flown in here at night time actually for a
35
while.
Golf Hotel, descent flight level 60, vectors ILS 05 right.
You turn that pole hill VOR off.
Descent level 60,
Otherwise the screen
ILS
gets
5 right,
confusing.
easy 35 Golf Hotel.
Continue that turn for the approach, you want to intercept the ILS. Engine anti-ice, everything's on. This is lining up fairly nicely. Easy 632 established.
Easy 632, thanks. Contact match the tower 118.625.
118.625, easy 632, thank you, bye. Slight offset though. Manchester Tower, good evening, easy 632, established on the ILS at 05 right.
Easy 632, Manchester Tower, continue approach.
Continue approach, easy 632. Getting sidetracked
Easy
down.
559, okay, convenient left, taxi holding point Foxtrot Zulu 1.
Let's go, cool view, gear down.
Manchester, we're Lufthansa 498, we're at Papa 1. Lufthansa 498, thanks, contact ground 121.850.
Okay, back to the flight deck.
Contacting ground on 121.850, Lufthansa 498.
What happened there? I think we activated soft go around somehow. EasyJet Simpilot, good evening. Yeah, 05 right is being used. First time in a little while actually. I've not landed on this one for a long time now. Tiny crosswind component of maybe 1 knot or so, so not too bad for us. And then we're going to want taxi instructions. So we should be getting our clearance to land in a second. Once we do, I'll go manual control. If you're new to the channel, do click subscribe. And if you've enjoyed today's live stream, even with YouTube's issues today, then do click the like button too while you're here. So we've got 4 flaps, gear down, signs on, cabin ready, spoilers aren't flaps 4, we've got no blue on the ECAM. We'll turn that off so we've got max performance on the engines. Live control. You see, nice. Yeah, it was 05 left in use earlier on actually. We had it changed very last minute with the new controller coming on. Slow that nose a little bit. YouTube's still playing up. You guys are about 2 minutes behind.
Runway 05 right, surface wind 030 degrees, 9 knots, clear to land.
05 right, cleared land, easy 632.
Easy 55 Mike via Foxtrot 01, cross runway 05 left, hold at Foxtrot 2.
So minimums, continue. little bit of wind shear.
10, 5.
Ryanair 119, ILS 05 lights. Ryanair 119, Manchester, continue break 05 right, number 1. Number 1, 05 right, Ryanair 119.
Reese, hello, welcome.
Easy 632, vacate left, taxi on point Foxtrot Zulu 1.
Vacate left and taxi hold point Foxtrot Zulu 1, easy 632. So didn't need we didn't need auto we didn't need reverse thrust for that. Foxtrot Zulu 1 is quite a way away.
Easy 55 Mike, contact Manchester ground 121.850. Ryanair 119, runway 05 right, swift between 0309, clear to land.
Odd one.
Clear to land 05 right,
So you guys are seeing it before I am on my ingest server, which is odd. So YouTube's really playing up today then. As I was saying a minute ago, we're uploading it at a very good speed, so I'm a little surprised that it's playing up. But maybe it's playing up on my side in the control centre then. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. It's a really nice little journey actually. Thanks to the 5 of you, or 4 of you who flew with us as well. That was really enjoyable actually. Real nice of you guys to tune in and fly at the same time. We're going to taxi down to Foxtrot Zulu 1, down the bottom. Yeah, you know what, my actual stream feed is miles behind on my computer. So I've just gone onto the stream on my phone and it's about 2 minutes ahead on my phone than it is on my computer running the stream in the control center, which is odd. Macco Sim 0.6.4 of course is what we're using today. Foxtrot Zulu 1's coming up. You can see all the great ground textures down below as well. And APU still...
Foxtrot Zulu 1, cross 05 left, taxi on point Foxtrot 2.
Fire Foxtrot Zulu 1, cross runway 05 left, hold at Foxtrot 2, easy 632. That's Delta Zulu. So,
Ryanair 119, vacate left and
strobes on.
Hotel Zulu 1. Vacate left, Hotel Zulu 1, Ryanair 119.
Hopefully, well, I imagine YouTube's probably going to crash and go down like it did earlier in December. But here we go, guys. So, Fire Foxtrot Zulu, cross runway 05 left is what we've been asked. So, round we go. It's great textures from Macco Simulations. Aircraft on finals there at 05 left by the looks of it. So we won't hang around too long here. Foxtrot Zulu 2 is the next turn.
Easy 6321, vacated ground 121.850. Goodbye.
Thank you, clear now and contact ground at 121.850. Thanks for your services, have a good day, easy 632. Oops. Conscious there's an aeroplane in front of me, so let's get this sorted. 121.85.
.575, information X-ray QNH 1024.
Let's get them flaps
to
up,
Edinburgh, Pole Hill 40 departure, squawk 5575, KH 1024, easy 224.
Easy 224, correct.
Manchester ground, good evening, easy 632 holding at Foxtrot 2, request taxi to the gates.
Easy 632, good evening, welcome Manchester. Taxi stand 9 via Foxtrot and Juliet Echo.
Taxi stand 9 via Foxtrot and Juliet Echo for easy 632. So this is where Navigraph is really helpful.
Speedbird 616 on stand 12, push and start approved, face south.
So pretty much next to all these guys. I don't need the ground charts anymore because Macco Simulations have got the actual plates and the ground textures on the ground as well, showing us where we're going and all that sort of stuff, which is really cool.
Ground Ryanair 119 at Hotel 1.
Yeah, FM1 crew, only from their site I believe, yeah, so far.
Stand 54 via Hotel and Golf.
They take quite a bit of a cut I believe, so
Taxi to stand 5.
I'd rather him do keep the price as it is, I guess. Stand 9 coming up for us. If you're still yet to decide purchasing it or anything like that, then I highly recommend making the purchase for this. It's a fantastic bit of scenery. One of my favourite pieces of scenery actually on the sim. Taxi light off for turning in.
Dash 557, contact tower on 118.625.
That's great, we had 5 of us flying back from Hamburg just then. 4 of us from Hamburg and Tom from further up north somewhere.
You're welcome, good evening.
All heading back into Macco Simulations Manchester. Look how great this looks. Real busy, loads of aircraft on the ground. There's been a lot of work done on textures and updates for the sim for Macco Simulations Manchester in relation to the tower, so we can see the red lights around the column of the tower, the spine of the tower if you like. Warehouse work's been done and a load of other stuff as well, so some really good texturing work and things there. Let's park up on that little marker. Engine 2 shut down. Yeah, the default is absolutely terrible, isn't it? Bloody sim. Yet again, hasn't recorded our departure.
I just had about 6 aircraft arrive, and I've got about 6 waiting to go.
Sounds great, and easy 224 is ready for push.
So beacon and everything off.
Easy 224.
Let's use Pushback Express again.
Report your stand number.
Stand 43.
And we can go ahead and request
Easy 224, stand 43, push and start approved.
Push and start approved, Easy 224.
Baggage, catering, and all the works.
Speedbird 616, hold position.
Easy 2611, radio check.
So, there we go guys, a few others to land, just coming down now, you can see. So thank you to all of you who flew with me on the return, that was really enjoyable. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream as well today. Testing a couple more bits of the A32NX, like constraint speed, restrictions and all that sort of stuff. As always, I appreciate every one of you watching and liking and subscribing to the channel. Be sure to, if you're new to the channel and you're checking this out for the first time, make sure you do click that subscribe button down below and join us as a frequent flyer.
Ryanair 119, you're welcome.
If you want to get started on VATSIM, you can check out my VATSIM tutorials mini-series playlist on the channel for loads of information to try and help you get confident and get you started on the network, including some handy PDF documents that you can read. Next time you watch on a stream as well and I'm on VATSIM, feel free to follow along using those PDF documents as well.
Pass your message. Speedbird 616, roger. Taxi holding point Alpha 1 via Lima.
Lots of work being done over the other side, so the warehouse thing's been put in by Macco Simulations as well in the updates. Really nice bits of work done. And with it being busy, it brings Manchester to life. It's really nicely done, so definitely one of the best pay-where airports you can get at the moment, and not a port like all the other ones seem to be. So I can highly recommend it. Thank you all for watching, and see you all again in a few days for another live stream. Head to Discord and let me know what you might want to see in the future as well. Thanks for watching and see you soon.